What up? What up? Shout out to Tuxedo Mask for the $2 donos, homie. Much appreciated to kick off the stream. Homie saying, bro, did you see the news about Hooker? He gay. Hooker, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Let me pull up this screen real quick. Wait, my bad. Oh no, we're good. We're good. And Andrew Nance gifting 5 Perry Punch Membies. Thank you, homie. That reminds me of something. But one step at a time. Let me fix this for you guys. Let me get you the image. Here it is. Dan Hooker, his stripper ex-mistress, claiming he's gay, claiming he cheated on her with a man. I mean, I don't know. The evidence is a bit damning. The evidence is a bit damning, boys. I cannot lie to you. I know a lot of you don't want to believe it, and I don't either. But the evidence is a bit damning, is it not? I mean, she provided all kinds of photos, text conversations. Yikes. And then Tuxedo also says, bro, why are you kind of mogging right now? Maybe it's the new cut, Tuxedo. Maybe it's the new cut. Tux telling me I need a chain. Shit, you know, I used to be a chain guy, but not anymore, man. Not anymore. Jackson Chain. W. Andrew. They lying on my boy Hooker. Shout out to Jew. Shout out to Dunn Daughter. Shout out to Andrew Nance. Shout out to everyone watching. Just a quick reminder. Like the stream. If you haven't liked the stream yet, subscribe if you're not subscribed. So with now that I got that up on screen, on to the next thing I was going to mention to kick off this stream. Shout out to Andrew Nance for gifting 5 memberships. We just filmed the Adrien Lee interview after his win this past Friday at One Championship. He knocked out his opponent in the first round. So we got that interview with Adrien Lee. That's going to be dropping members only first. And then, you know, we'll drop it on the channel. But the members, shout out the 5 new members. Shout out to all the regular members. You guys will get the exclusive drop on that interview first. So yeah, shout out to Adrien Lee. We got that interview dropping. You know, we talk about coming off that loss to Ty Rutolo. We talk about when his brother, the double champion, his brother is the lightweight and welterweight champion reigning right now. We ask when his brother's coming back, how many fights Adrien wants this year. You know, Adrien also reacted to the Dean the Great knockout and all these kinds of things. So check that out. It'll probably be dropping members only in the next few days here. I feel motivated to edit it and get it posted. So I'll probably start editing after tonight. With all that being said, sorry I'm late. All right, sorry I'm late. But, you know, still a fairly early stream. So I promised 8 p.m., but I'm here at 8:30. I mean, you guys are used to 11 p.m. streams at this point, so I'm sure this is fine. Now that brings us to the news for the day, I guess. The news for the day. Well, it's been an eventful day. Starting off with this headline right here. You know, I wake up, I see Dan Hooker's stripper ex-mistress accusing him of being gay, alleging he cheated on her with a man, and that's why they broke up. Just a couple hours ago, Dan Hooker reacted to it. He says, "What I miss?" No shit, I'm gay now? So, you know, we're going to listen to the woman's explanation, and we're going to look at, I mean, essentially, I'm going to call it the Dan Hooker files. We're going to take a look at the Dan Hooker files right now, or in a little bit, once I get through telling you guys what we're going to talk about for the day. But, you know, not only did she release about a 3-minute video, not only did Dan Hooker respond, but on her stories, she released all of the Dan Hooker files. She released her version of the Dan Hooker files. So a lot of people, I think, Jew in the chat saying it's fake. I mean, Jew, one thing is for sure. Dan and her were fucking. One thing is for sure. Dan and her were fucking. Gotta be. Gotta be. Did he cheat on her with a man? I don't know. But what's crazy is that she posted his dating profile. She posted his dating profile. It's like Ox Swingers or something. I mean, it's like Dan's a horn dog. And in my opinion, no wonder Dan fights so often. He got 2 baby mamas, essentially. He don't got no babies with this woman, but he got a baby mama, and then he got this woman. Apparently, he was funding her whole lifestyle, paying for her 2 mortgages in 2 different countries. I mean, it makes perfect sense. Homie is definitely out to collect checks. He don't give a fuck about the wins or losses. His sexual appetite is keeping him active. Let's put it like that. His sexual appetite keeping him active in the octagon. Aside from this story, so we'll get into it. Do I know if it's real or not? I honestly don't know. But we can look at all the Dan Hooker files in a couple moments here. But in other news, we did it again, boys. We did it again. All right, we did it again. I want you to all run up the likes right now because we did it again. All right, we created headlines once again. I mean, this is a pretty normal occurrence, but I feel like, I just got to maybe belabor the point just a little bit for you boys. We did it again. Okay, we went viral again. Okay, we made news again. We made the headline again. What am I speaking about? I'm speaking about an exclusive clip from my interview with Joaquin Buckley where I asked him about Sean Strickland and white UFC fighters saying the N-word. Now, I don't give a fuck how you feel about this because I know there's quite a few people who don't like it. You know what I mean? Don't give a fuck. For the people who do like it, I did this for you. All right? So, but this is my style of interview. This is what I do. So, boom, we went viral again. Hate it or love it. Everyone's posting about it. We made the headline. My question with Joaquin Buckley from our interview. Go check it out. Okay, after Sean Strickland crashed out yesterday at his media day, now we got Joaquin speaking on Sean Strickland and another white UFC fighter saying the N-word. The quote is, "Say it to my face. Say it to my face." Rich Charizard says, "Yeah, I'm not for it." All good, homie. All good. All good. Tuxedo Mask says, "I like it." Shout out to Tuxedo Mask. I saw quite a few comments of people not liking it, but listen, at the end of the day, I mean, honestly, I just don't give a fuck. I just don't give a fuck whether you like it or not. Joaquin has no problems with it. He collabed on the post. So what's the issue here? What's the issue here? And just to speak on it further, it's like, this is a genuine question. If Sean Strickland is out here saying the N-word in front of Rampage Jackson, Joaquin Buckley comments on the post, sending a message to Sean Strickland. Joaquin is black. All right. A perfectly fair question to ask. What's your stance on this? White UFC fighters. You know what I mean? They think it's cool to say, it's funny. What's your take on this? Perfectly fair question to ask. All right. Get Money Juice says, we getting money. So this is the other story. We'll play the whole video, like the whole clip, but I'll read it to you. This is what Joaquin had to say. "When we're part of a fight promotion that is very exclusive to being open to say what you want, the freedom of speech and all this other stuff, the UFC is not going to take action, except when certain guys talk about certain people." Who's homie talking about here? He couldn't be talking about Bryce Mitchell, right? And his Hitler was a good guy comments. Could he be? Buckley more woke than we thought. Buckley more base than we thought. Anyway, you can do it in comfort on the camera or online, but do it to my face. But you're not going to let me act, but you're not going to get me to act out of character. But we're going to break this down a little more on why you feel so expressive to use that word. It's not that you bold enough to say it around whoever. I don't believe that. It's it's just the God's honest truth. A lot of guys only use that word when they feel comfortable around certain spaces, and that's the true reason. Perfect example. If Chris Curtis is around Sean Strickland, is Strickland just dropping the N-word? Because I thought they was boys. I thought they was homies. He's definitely going to call him out. All right. Sean Strickland responded to this. I mean, he had quite a few things to say, but in short, he says Buckley is the black version of a Karen. Okay, and I'll leave that as the cliffhanger. We'll get into this. We'll read more of it. But you know, Joaquin's gonna be at UFC Houston, and that's what he told Strickland. He said, "Bet, see you at Houston. You know, see you in Houston." So Strickland, the headliner, Joaquin's gonna be there. He was actually supposed to be on stream, but we canceled it because he's gonna be in Houston, live at the event. So it would have been perfect timing to have him on, you know, with Sean Strickland reacting and everything. But that's okay. We'll get his reaction at a later date. Um, and I had one more thing to say about this. Oh, once again, well, actually, an update because I told you guys we canceled this week's this weekend's podcast, this weekend's live stream for the fights. But Joaquin has confirmed with me he will be live for Charles Oliveira versus Max Holloway. All right, so I'm just gonna let you guys know that, but you know, I'll keep you posted. So here's the situation with this one. And then in other news, I think there's only like really one other big thing to talk about, which is the Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios press conference. So we'll take a look at the Garcia Barrios press conference. It's quite a big fight. Oh, and we can't even forget about this one. Sean Strickland's crazy media day yesterday. So we're gonna look at Sean's crazy media day. We're gonna look at Dan Hooker getting accused of cheating on his mistress with a man. We're going to look into Joaquin Buckley, Sean Strickland going back and forth over who can use the N-word. You know, Sean Strickland told Joaquin, "I never lost a game of racist chicken." How crazy of a thing to say. I never lost a game of racist chicken. All right, well, shit. Joaquin told him to say it to his face, and Strickland said, "Bet, I never lost a game of racist chicken." So, you know, we are in the Big 26, and this is the type of conversation to be had in the Big 26. You know, we got that term weighing half going around right now, white ass N-words going hard as fuck. You know, this is you got guys like Clavicular saying the word, Nick Fuentes saying the word, Sean Strickland, Marvin Vittori, Conor McGregor. All right, this is a very valid question to be asking people. Very valid question. It's a Big 26, and I don't know. They're trying to make the N-word a normal word for everyone to say. So I'm just trying to get a consensus from Joaquin himself. So anyway, we'll look into that. And yeah, Mario Barrios, Ryan Garcia, and Sean Strickland Media Day. So without further ado, I mean, Mike Perry, LOL. Yeah, a lot of people saying that, Rich Charizard. A lot of people saying that in the comments. They're like, "Isn't your co-host Mike Perry?" But I mean, I guess he technically is black, Mr. Mike Perry. You know, 1%, 2%, you know. And John Jones gave him the cosign. You know, he gave him the pass. He said Mike Perry's a real N-word. So, but yeah, that's a great question. I can follow that up with Joaquin. Drew says, "These are wild times we pass the oversensitive shit." Yeah, I know. So that's why it's actually a very interesting topic. You know, am I one of these people being like, I need to say the N-word? You know, I can't get through these podcasts without dropping the N-word. Absolutely not. I have no desire to say the N-word. But a lot of people do. They like saying the N-word. They're trying to push for it to become more normalized. I think people like Joaquin obviously don't want it to be. He definitely cares. People like Rampage, you know, he doesn't really care as much. I've seen people calling Rampage the C word. You know, a lot of people calling Rampage the C word too. You know what I'm talking about, or at least you should. And so that's why it's very interesting, because who knows what the right side of it is. I don't claim to know the right side, but you know, it's worth talking about. This is the talking point of this, you know, generation. Not, you know, like back in 2020, the talking point would be COVID. Right now, this is the talking point. You know, I got my finger on the pulse. I know what's going on. A lot of people don't. That's okay. That's why you guys are tuning in here. And yeah, just to just to really lock it in. Just to really lock it in for the one time for you boys. You know, a lot of you guys don't think I got motion like that. You know, and a lot of you guys do know about the type of motion I carry. But, you know, just to show you guys, right? We got motion. Okay, this beef made top headlines on X today. We got motion. All right? This ain't the only motion we got. You know, we got motion. You know, we got motion. We got Luke Thomas. Okay, I'm telling you guys. We got Luke Thomas reacting to it. We got motion. You know, so what do I always like to say? You know, all these people outside screaming fire at me, fire, fire, fire. I like them outside. You know, I don't want to put out the fire. I like people outside my house. So all you boys who hate it, shit, I ain't putting out the fire. I like you guys outside my house. Okay, because we got Luke Thomas reposting it. We got Homo Fight. We got Champ Rounds. I'm sure MMA Fighting and these other pages are going to post it on their websites. So, you know, just get ready. You know, national MMA news right here. Yours truly. If I never asked the question, it would have never made it this far. So we'll get into that one. You know, obviously I'm excited to talk about that one. But let's explore the Dan Hooker drama. You know, also, though, here's some of the Dan Hooker files real quick. You know, like, look at what it says on the bottom. That says bussy. I mean, Dan Hooker likes bussy is crazy work. It's absolutely crazy work that Dan Hooker likes bussy, if true. No, Strickland hates Muslims. Better have credited you. They didn't credit me. How funny is that, Mr. Kevin from Chicago? They didn't say where the interview came from, but that's all right, brother. That's totally fine. Totally fine. Listen, that ain't my first repost. That ain't my last repost. I ain't tripping. You know, we get reposts like, you know, quite often from these Buckley interviews anyway. So, like, for example, Jackson podcast. You know, just to really show you guys again that I got motion. Sorry to be all over the place, but I'm sure you don't mind. All right. But, you know, this ain't the only headline topic, right? Like, yeah, that was about Sean Strickland and the N-word. But, where's the Joaquin Buckley clip? Well, it should be on. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Joaquin, also in our interview, he calls out Callum Walsh, you know, because him and Dana have been going back and forth over him wanting to compete on Zuffa boxing. Dana says no. Joaquin can't take no for an answer. He firing back saying, let me spar Callum then. You know, you don't believe me?
To ask him
Here it says
that question. You know what I'm saying?
Punch.
Why
So
would
shout
you
out to
not
Jackson
allow
Podcast
UFC
for, you know,
fighters to
reposting
come
the
into
interview,
the boxing space where they
crediting
can
me.
help
Would have
and
been
not
nice if
hurt
they
the
invited
promotion?
Fick Lab, but
And
that's
I'm gonna
okay.
shout this
No
out right
need.
now. The one that
No
is
worries
on the
there. All right, we got motion. We got motion. You know, shout out to Bert. You know, we be keeping the streets fed, boys. We be keeping these MMA pages. We give them something to post. You know, this scene's so dry these days. Nothing fun to post. You know, we here for the people. We give it to the people. Here's another one. Joaquin calling him out from that interview. You know, so here's 3 different, you know, headlines from the same damn interview. All right. So we got motion. I know you guys know we got motion, but you know, it needs to be said, boys. It really does need to be said, to be honest with you. Perfecto says, is it just you, bro, or do you have a team? Shit, it's all me. It's all me. It's all me, homie. So forgive me if I have to pop my shit one time. All right, because we got Champ Rounds and Homo Fight reposting it, not even crediting me, you know, keeping me out of it. So I just got to let you guys know, you know, we the ones with motion. All right, Homo Fight don't got this type of motion. Champ Browns don't got this type of motion. We do what they do and then some. We on the live stream right now. We do interviews. We actually make national headlines in MMA. Okay, never get it twisted. Don't you ever think for 1 second on one of these copy and paste, you know what I mean, media pages. This is a full-on fucking MMA entertainment, whatever you want to call it, page. We do it all over here, and it's just me. Now, anyway, let's get to it. Let's get to the Dan Hooker files. Here it is. All right, a stripper and Dan Hooker's former mistress just exposed him for allegedly cheating on his wife with her and claimed they only broke up because Hooker allegedly cheated on her with a man. So here's the main quote. Yes, he is married. When I met him, I was working at the booty club. He was just a client. This was like 2023, around the time Dan Hooker started getting those egregious tattoos. They're not egregious, but it was a whole switch up. He took me out of the club, Captain Save-A-Ho, right? So he started paying for my life completely and utterly. Had all of his cards on my Apple Pay. Crazy work, Dan. Paid for my rent in 2 different countries. Everything. I tried to leave this man so many times, but he'd always get me back with something new and shiny. Every time he cheated on me, he'd buy me a new bag. So yes, he paid a lot. To the point where I had a wish list on my phone that was shared with him on iCloud. So every time he'd do something, he had to buy something off the wish list every time he cheated on me. So I started looking on his phone every time, like trying to find a new bitch, a new problem so I could get a new bag, right? Until I found out it was a man. When I seen the man, everything changed because like, no. And then I got abused from that, but we're not going to get into that. But yes, he is married and me and her get along fine. Dan Hooker got those tattoos because he was in love with that bitch. And I knew it. All right. Girls will make you do some crazy things. I'm just going to say, you know, that's just my opinion. But around 2023, they started dating. That's about the time that Dan Hooker got his first tattoo. All right. When everyone was joking around saying midlife crisis, no, homie was just fucking a baddie on the side. And I don't blame him. I don't hold no, you know, ill will towards Dan for stepping out on his wife and doing his thing. Like, listen, that's his business. Would I hate him if he was gay? No, but like, you know, that is crazy work. That is crazy. We just have to admit and acknowledge that if Dan is gay and this is true, now I don't dislike Dan or I won't hate Dan, but I would be completely and utterly shocked. I would find that to be insane. You know, just an insane revelation, if I could just say it like that. I would find it to be an insane revelation. Would I think Dan's insane in the membrane? No, he's fucking gay. Millions of people are gay, and they're normal, I guess you could say. But, you know, Dan, not I guess you could say, you know, millions of people are gay and they're normal, you know, completely normal. I was more so thinking about the trans, but I know some of you guys are going to be like, no, they're not normal, but that's okay. Anyway, let's watch the video. I lost my train of thought with that whole thing. It would just be crazy that
a lot
Dan
of people
is
are
gay.
not
That's what I was trying to say.
understanding.
It would be crazy. But, you know, he could be gay all he wants. Him and Jeff Molina. Shout out to Jeff Molina. The moment you've all been waiting for.
But a lot of people are not understanding.
Why is there no audio on it? My goodness gracious.
But a lot of people are not understanding.
Oh, there is audio, huh? There is audio. My bad. I got my AirPod in instead. It's, oh, yeah. 58 people in here like motherfucking like the stream. I mean, guys, can we just address the elephant in the room? Everybody run up the likes on the stream. All right, run up the likes on the stream, everybody. We're going to get into this clip now.
What a lot of people are not understanding here is that, yes, he is married. And when I met him, I was working in the booty club. He was just like a client, like at the time. This was like 2023. And he took me out the club, Captain Save-A-Ho, right? Loves that shit. He loves a OF girl. He loves a ripper. He loves Captain Save a Hoe. So yeah, he started paying for my life completely and utterly, had all his cards on my Apple Pay, paid for my rent in 2 different countries, like everything. I tried to leave this man so many fucking times, but he'd always get me back with something shiny and new. Every time he cheated on me, he'd buy me a new bag. So yes, he played up a lot, to the point where I had a wish list on my phone that was shared with him on iCloud. So every time he'd do something, he had to buy something off the wish list every time he cheated on me, right? And I kind of started looking on his phone every time, like trying to find a new bitch, a new problem, so I could get a new bag, right? Until I found out that it was a man. When I seen the man, everything changed, because like, no. And then I got abused from that. But we're not going to get into that. But yes, he was married. Is married. And me and her get along fine. Like, it's fine. It's like a lot of people, you don't really know this, but pretty much there's a lot of fucking guys that if they have money and status, they'll be married, and then they'll have like their girlfriend. All right. It's just the way of life, and like it's not a way of life I would ever do again. Learned my lesson. Shit, if you're married, never hit me up ever. I'm never doing that again. And also, it was a lot of convincing for me to even get to that position of dating. I was 22 when I met him. He was 34. And, like, having someone, like, pay all this money and, like, get you out of, like, what you were doing for work and, like, all these things. Like, the manipulation tactics were gorgeous, amazing, stunning. He ate that up. But, yeah, I would not recommend that. And if you want to say, oh, you were just a side piece, yes and no. But I don't think that excuses the abuse and everything that I had to go through just because of the way that the relationship is set up. Like, I don't know if you guys have traveled much around the world, but in like Muslim cultures, you can have like 3 wives. In Vietnam, 3 wives. Like, if you have enough money, you can have what you want, all right? And honestly, he's a fucking handful. Like, if I would hate to date him without him being married, because, bitch, 24/7, no. And also, I want to mention, there was a girl before me. He dated a girl for 3 years before me and played the fuck up on her, too. And a girl before that. And now there's another girl after. Like, it's like, he is a piece of shit. I took what I could out of the situation by cheating on me with a man, kidnapping me.
Kidnapping you. No, what it sounds like, she's like, I wasn't really the side hoe, I kind of was. What that sounds like to me is that Dan obviously like kicking it with her way more than his wife. He's committed to his wife and his daughter, and they live together, and he probably still bangs her too. But this is the one he goes and kicks it with all day long. And then he comes home to his wife. So Dan was living the life, having two chicks. But yeah, that's it from her. That's her story. There's more. She released the Dan Hooker files, like I said. We can take a look at some more of them. But we're gonna peep her story, but I'll just give you guys a little sneak preview. Here's a post. She says, the guy y'all look up to. I got cheated on with a man. That's why I broke up with him, crying, laughing. Here's what the messages say. They say like, it's like 6'3" Kiwi swingers .co.nz. I'll make sure to get you hard and suck you deep. Oh my gosh. He goes, hot. When? 30 minutes? She goes, I'm busy tonight. I'll let you know. He goes, I'm very horny with a big load. And then she said something. I can read it better on my where's my phone? I can't see it on here. She said I don't even know. Why can't I read it? I'll make next time worth it. Yeah, I'll make next time worth it. What else we got? apparently, I mean, this is like, who knows what this is, but it's like his Reddit apparently. Bro, Twitter, this is why I don't usually go on Twitter. It's all laggy. Like his Reddit, gays, pegging, New Zealand swingers, New Zealand gone wild, femboys. I mean, if this is true, Dan is so fucked. People talking about the broken phone. I don't know. She don't got a new phone now. Dan ain't fucking with her now. But here's Dan's profile picture right here on the bottom. On Kiwi Swingers, chill guy AKL, Auckland, straight male, 37 from Auckland. Photo of Dan Hooker, shirtless and blonde. The whole switch up makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. And also, you know, Dan having a baby mama before her, not a baby mama, but another mistress before her. I mean, shout out to Dan, my man getting it in. A wet bussy is crazy. Her on FaceTime with him, you know. Her on FaceTime with him, holding a wet bussy. There it is right there in the corner. Here they are. So this is what I mean when I say he was kicking it with her all day, but he lived with his, you know, baby mama. But she goes, anyways, I'm hot and healing. I hope one day he can live his truth and stop abusing women physically, financially, and mentally. So they were definitely together. I think that's without a shadow of a doubt. Do we need one more screenshot? Let's head over to IG for one more screenshot.
A lot of people are not understanding.
Here's the other screenshot, and here's also Dan's reaction. You know, no shit, I'm gay now? Question mark. And then this is her photo of them two together on a staircase. 2 years with my DL. Of course, no one would suspect. Look at me. You know, they were definitely together. And since we're on the Dan Hooker response, he goes, "What I miss?" You know, no shit, I'm gay now. And I guess that can bring us to, let's look at the rest of the files that she leaked today on her stories. If it's still up on her stories, if not, I got it all. You know, I got all the screenshots for you boys. Nah, they should all still be up though. Yep, they're all still up here. So let's take a look. Let's review the Dan Hooker files. Who would have thought we're getting the Epstein files, we're getting the Nick Diaz files, and now we got the Dan Hooker files in the Big 26. I mean, your secrets are not safe in the Big 26. Once again, reminder to everybody, you know, run up the likes on the stream, man. The fact that they're not at 25 yet, with 45 people in here, I mean, something's up. Oh, Tuxedo says it's kind of a flex cheating on your side. I mean, yeah, I think it kind of is a flex. I guess it kind of is a flex. Tuxedo. I'm not going to lie. You know what I mean? It is somewhat of a flex for sure. And thank you for the $2 dono, homie. Let me just make sure I didn't miss any of Tuxedo's donos while I'm on it. Looks like I got them all. One of them, he said, I like it. Yeah. Beautiful. Dan Swinger, Dan Prostituta. This is mad funny. I mean, his last name is Hooker. 6'3" Kiwi, aka Izzy. Yeah, what's going on inside that gym, huh? Izzy just like saw that news, he perked up immediately. He probably called Dan ASAP to confirm. Anyway, here's actually better quality. You know what I was showing you earlier? This is way better quality, but you see it, right? I'll make next time worth it. I'm very horny with a big load. I mean, Dan talking wild to his girly. I'm very horny with a big load is crazy, bro. She was 22. He was 30 something. I mean, shout out to Dan. You know, he getting it in. Nothing wrong with that. There ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, the whole dating profile thing. So we've been through some of these. The Reddit. So here's another one. Begging for head from a man in a mask, but having my 5'1" ass baddie as a cover up is crazy. Hashtag live your truth. So she kind of thinks that, you know, he kept her as a cover up essentially. That's what she's insinuating here. You know, he kept me as a cover up, but he really is stepping out on the both of us with the man. That's where he truly wants to be. You know, sucka 12. Guys, sucka 12 is crazy. Dan Hooker was talking to sucka 12. I'm in Eden Terrace. Free later tonight. I'll be in touch. Sweet. Your throat ready? Question mark. Hey, sorry, can't host till after 11 p.m. or 11:30 when everyone's asleep. You free tonight? Sorry, got a cold at moment. Damn. So I mean, to me, it looks like Dan was like, you know, not he kept bailing on the dude. 6'3" Kiwi. Let me know if you want a repeat sometime. Yeah, next time I come, I just want to suck you off. Yes, absolutely. I'd be ready and waiting. I'll just lay back and leave you to it. Oh, wait. Yeah, I'll just lay back and leave you to it. I'll leave the door unlocked, walk in, I'll be hard and suck me off. Oh my goodness gracious. The planning is insane. I've never planned like this in my life. I guess you could call me an impromptu type of guy. Should I make it up as I go? I've never said I'll leave the door unlocked, walk in, I'll be hard and suck me off. Oh, that's insane, bro. That's insane. I swear, like, the older you get as a man, the crazier you fucking talk. How many old guys have we seen with like the craziest DMs caught at like baseball games and shit, talking to like their hooker like side chicks? I know you guys have seen them. She goes, I'll make sure to get you hard and suck you deep. Oh my gosh, bro. This is insane. 2 years with my DL. You know, the bussy. She's hot and healing. She goes, if anything happens to harm me in any way, it was him. So yeah, if I end up in a suitcase somewhere, y'all know who did it. I mean, look at them here. There's no way this is AI and stuff. There's just absolutely no way this is AI. She goes, anyone that thinks this shit is fake is so dumb. And no, I'm not trying to ruin his career. He's doing that himself with his trash grappling. Oh my goodness, she fucking went at his grappling too. She knows he's a bad grappler too. That's crazy. Damn, even she knows he's a bad grappler. He's doing that himself with his trash grappling, talking about ruining his career. Oh my goodness gracious. Why does she have to low-key be kind of funny? Raw 188. These are different DMs, Juice Man. This is from Raw 188. I'll give you guys more context. Look, so this looks like it was between her and him, but I don't know. This is just from 6'3" Kiwi. So I don't know. I think that's Dan's account. We know that's Dan's account. So I think these are her messages from Dan, you know, saying like, I'll make sure to get you hard and suck you deep. The ones where Dan was bailing, that was with a dude. That was suck at 12. You know, where it's like, hey, sorry, can't host till after 11 p.m. Sorry, got a cold at the moment. That was suck at 12. That seems like it was a dude. So Dan was bailing on a dude, talking super dirty to his chick. You know, this was him talking to his side piece, in my opinion. Oh, and she even said he paid me a lot to shut the fuck up, y'all. So I don't know. I guess, I don't know. But I'm going to assume this is from her. Unless this is her scoping out his phone. I don't know. So there's no way of telling. But I'm going to assume, I'm going to let you guys know I'm assuming this is Dan talking to her. That's my assumption. And then here's this new DM with another name, Raw 188. That's where she says, you know, Dan's grappling is trash and that's what's ruining his career, not me. So this one says, and can we see you, please? Of course. No way the hangman is on here. I'm sure if this is fake, he will find you. Haha, trying to be low key. Had much group experience? Question mark. Damn, so she's messaging people on Dan's phone. I don't know. Oh no, this was Dan. They're saying, no way the hangman is on here. I'm sure if this is fake, he will find you. They're insinuating that they're talking to a fake Dan. And then Dan responded and he said, haha, I'm trying to be low key. And then they asked Dan, had much group experience? Question mark. This is rah 188. Some, I don't know, text messages, you know, bless up. The face. Must be a crazy mental illness to cheat on you, let alone with a guy. So that seems like Dan texted her. You know, Dan texted her about this. Must be a crazy mental illness to cheat on you, let alone with a guy. And she goes, bless up. So who knows? I mean, Dan texting her like that kind of makes it seem like she's lying. Because if Dan knows that she knows the truth, why would you text her? That would make no sense, right? That's like going and telling somebody who knows like an established fact about you that it's not an established fact. That's what I'm trying to say. If it was an established fact between the two of them, you know, Dan wouldn't text her like this, in my opinion. So that gives, you know, a little bit of, you know, she went through his phone, she jumped to conclusions, and maybe Dan's like, bro, I never did that shit. It could be something like that. You know, all I can do is speculate. So that's all I'm going to do right now. But I'm not saying anything to be a fact. I'm just, you know, giving you guys my assumptions. OMG, I had to face check. That's crazy. Hope you okay, babes. You deserve some more. Oh, or fact check. So who knows? I guess one of her friends. Yeah, OMG, I had to fact check. That's crazy. Hope you okay, babes. You deserve so much more. Yeah, that is her friend. And then they looked up the dating profile. I'm an athletic guy that likes to take care of himself, clean and attractive. Interest, anal sex, cucking, dogging, double penetration, exhibitionism, group, masked. You know what I'm saying. Damn, Dan. If true, this is crazy. Unless she made this fake profile for him. Seems like a troll, bro. She goes, okay, damn, I wish I did my hair and makeup before. Here she is at a UFC event. She goes, how I feel reading Twitter comments. Ain't no coming back. Here's a little selfie she posts now. Oh, a little love letter from Dan. To my love Keeks, I have loved you since the moment I first saw you. We have a connection that no one in the world can break. I want you in my life until we are old and gray. I love how strong you are. I have never met anyone with so much passion and fire. You are so incredible. I feel so lucky to have you. Excited to keep doing life with you. Love, Dan. Here's another one up here. Merry Xmas, Keeks. I'm so happy to be with you. I will try to be the man you deserve. A loyal, honest man who cares and takes care of you forever. Thank you so much for inviting me. Something special day. You and your loved ones. Too many more special days together. Lots of love, Dan. Damn. Wild. Here's Dan sleeping at her house. Damn, the Dan Hooker files are being released as we speak. I've been live for longer than this has been posted. I went live and this got posted like 2 minutes after it. 44 minutes ago, been posted. Been live for 46. So we're getting the exclusive on here, never before seen. You guys never seen this. Her photo or a video of her and Dan. Dan sleeping on her couch. Oh shit, she had his phone. Damn, she woke him. Wait, no, that's his phone right there. She picked it up, I think. Yeah, she just picked it up. Okay. Dan's always sleeping on couches and shit. You know how Sean Strickland always accuses Oscar Willis of being gay? Dan and Oscar had a sleepover one time. Hopefully nothing happened there. Hopefully nothing happened there. But there it is, you know, I mean, she was definitely dating Dan. Is Dan gay? Did he cheat on her with a man? I mean, I guess the world will never know. You know, Dan says it's news to him that he's gay. So we'll see what happens with that one. But that's the latest. That is the latest on Dan. We can check X one more time just to see an update. Here's another one. We got more people posting Sean and Joaquin on IG comments. Oh. Oh, no. No, we've seen all these. Yeah, no new stuff going on. Oh, is Gable Steveson fighting tonight? Is that what's going on? Can someone tell me that? Is Gable fighting tonight? On a Thursday? I think I saw something where it said he made weight yesterday, right? Today's the 19th. Yep, I guess he's fighting at MFL soon. Well, we'll see what happens when that goes down. So the next story that we're gonna Gable is fighting right now. I probably can't stream it. America First is saying Dan is acting like his true self hooker like. Damn prostituta. Tyler Betts says no way he brought her to a UFC event. I mean, Tyler Betts, there she is. There she is, and there's Dan. Kind of crazy, bro. Kind of crazy. What else do you guys have to say about it? Drew Span saying can't trust these thoughts. They in it for themselves. That's wild. The mechanic just went for a takedown on Gable after hitting with 2 good punches. Okay, keep me updated. Paramount about to cancel Strickland. Nah, I don't think so, America First. They're cool with it. Yeah, even Tyler Betts says, nah, they love the attention. All UFC Media Day questions are scripted and approved by UFC. Lady only asked non-fight related questions to get Sean going. Yeah, that lady was planted there, Tyler Betts, if you ask me. I mean, she knew exactly how to get his ass going. Bro landed a spinning kick on Gable. It's on YouTube. Gable versus Hugo. It's the MFL. Content isn't available. Try again later. Oh, wait. Over here, I think. Well, I guess I can't pull it up. G goes, oh, it's over. Okay. Jew goes, LOL, Sean got himself going. It was literally like he interviewed himself. Yeah, Jew. I could see that too. I could see that too. She definitely sparked it, but Sean went right into like Sean was, yeah, you're right, Jew, because Sean was segueing a lot himself. Like I think it started with the Gina Carano thing. You know, the lady asked him that, and then he instantly went into the NFL and Bad Bunny. And then the lady asked him about Hamzat, I think, or something about a title shot. And so he was talking about that at like the White House. And then he segued that somehow into Tiki Ghostin elbowing Dean the Great and calling him like a grapist and all these kinds of things. So Sean's a master fucking media guy. I will give it to him. Give me 1 minute. Let me make a call real quick. Give me 1 minute. Then we'll come back. We'll hit the next topic. If you guys got anything else more to say about Dan Hooker, you can drop it in here. I'll read it before we get going on the next topic. UFC fighters saying the N-word. My bad. Damn, you guys were really, it took you guys a minute to tell me you couldn't hear anything. It's better now. I was just reading all your guys' comments, speaking about Gable and stuff like that. So nothing, you didn't really miss anything. And I was saying we're going to get into this topic now. And I was just prefacing it once again by saying that, it's not just Sean Strickland who says the N-word. It's a lot of other white UFC fighters who say it. A lot of streamers and stuff are saying it these days. So I figured I'd ask Joaquin about it. I read you the quote earlier, so let's get into it now. I'll play you the full video. And they're white.
Nina, let me say, you get the
UFC fighters saying the N-word, and they're white.
Nina, let me say, you get the nigga pass.
Sure. Rampage? What? Anybody got the nigga pass?
And then so you responded, you commented, and you said, Sean Strickland, you're not slick. I know what you're trying to do, but chill out because the real N-word's got to stand on business at UFC.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, as grown men, you can say whatever you want to, right? But I believe that the reason why they say it is because they feel as if there isn't going to be no repercussions that's going to happen, right? There's no consequences to their actions, right? And at the end of the day, when we're at a fight promotion that very is exclusive to, you know, being open to say what you want, right? The freedom of speech and all this other stuff like that. Like the UFC is not going to take action, you know, except for when certain guys talk about certain people, you know. And with that being said, you know, for myself, it's just like you can do it in the comfort on the camera or online, but do it to my face, right? But you're not gonna get me to act out of character, you know. But we gonna break this down a little bit more on why you feel so expressive to use that word, right? When at the end of the day, this has not been something that you had to deal with when you get pulled over by the police, right? Or when you've been treated as if you're a second class, you know what I mean? Or as if actually you're not a human being. Forget second class, treat it as if you're not even a human being. And a lot of people don't realize, like, even when we say the word, right, we just expressing as unity together, right? Because of the things that we had to go throughout time. But you know, this ain't no crybaby, you know what I'm saying? Like, ooh, Sean Strickland used it, ooh, so I'm gonna cry about it. But no, but my thing is the real question, like, why are you so comfortable with using the word, right? And then why do you only use it, you know what I mean, around certain people? Because you feel like you can get away with it with them, right? So it's not that you bold enough to say it around whoever. I don't believe that, you know? And it's just the God honest truth is that a lot of guys only use that word when they feel comfortable around certain spaces. And that's the true reason, right? So that's where we're gonna keep it a buck at, you know. But do that stuff around, you know, I guess a perfect example, right? Like if Chris Curtis, right, is around and Sean Strickland, is Sean Strickland just dropping the N word around Chris Curtis? Because I thought they was boys. I thought they was home.
Well, probably not, because he knows Chris is going to call him out.
He definitely gonna call him out for that, right? And it's just at the end of the day, it's just like if you got respect for somebody that is a person of color, you know what I'm saying, that is so-called your friend, you know, I got a black friend, right? Type shit, right? Then you not gonna drop that word like that, you know, and express that to, you know, be funny or just to be disrespectful. Because when he did that in front of Rampage should have said something right then and there. But at the end of the day, everybody wants that reaction out of you. That's why he said it. Now, why
is that what you meant when he said, "I know what you're trying to do"? Is that what you meant when he said that?
Yeah, because you know Rampage old. Like, I love Rampage, he old. You know, like, what is Rampage really gonna do? Like, you know what I'm saying? He just gonna start squabbling up with Sean Strickland right there, right? Like, that's not finna happen. You know, because if anything, like I said, I'm rocking with OGs. I ain't finna fight you. I'm not finna fight you, right? We're gonna take it somewhere else. But yet again, is it worth it? Because you said a word. No, it's not. But you're not finna just be blatantly disrespectful to me either, though.
And do you think he would have said that in front of you? Just a genuine question.
Matter of fact, I would love to see it. I
would love to see it.
Because at the end of the day, if you do it, now you really just trying to be disrespectful, right?
There it is. There it is. Perfect timing on the Sean Strickland fight week. You know, what are people saying about it? We can look at, you know, X. X usually has a lot more colorful responses. Very opinionated here, which is totally okay. But sticks and stones may break my bones, but words never hurt me. What's Buckley going to do to Strickland? Not much. Shush, y'all steal everything. Now he's upset Sean stole a special word. Does he know who his podcast co-host is? It's so sad that MMA fighters, let alone regular people, get bothered by words that are out of context. Haha, real men stand up and protect your children and women. But we're talking about wordplay, haha, quote unquote, matrix. They say, I think context matters. He wasn't calling anyone the N-word. You can tell he was joking, and he said it in front of a black guy, not any black guy, Rampage Jackson. Who knows what that person's really trying to say? I got no clue. You're saying a lot of nothing there. Anyway, so Sean Strickland responded to it, and I mean, this is quite viral, you know. I mean, I don't know how many hundreds of comments are on here. This is just a massive talking point with both sides going at it with each other. But I mean, 203K views so far, 7,000 likes, 872 comments, 76 reshares, 1,600. The link, the post was sent 1,600 times, 4,000 votes. I mean, we raking in the numbers on this post. Absolutely raking them in. All right. Here's what Sean Strickland said, though. So Sean responded to it, the initial quote, which was "say it to my face." So then Sean goes, "LMAO, I've never lost a game of racist chicken." Joaquin responded, he said, "Bet, see you in Houston, big fella." Then Strickland went back at it. Well, actually, then Strickland commented on someone else's comment, and he said, "I did drop him in sparring, LOL." So Sean's claiming that he dropped Joaquin in sparring. Shit, I'm not going to call him a liar. You know what I mean? If he's saying it, it probably did happen. Who knows? But then Sean comments again. He goes, "Buckley is the black version of a Karen." Then he goes again, and he says, "Buckley is the type of guy who gets kicked out of a store for being obnoxious," and then says, quote, "It's because I'm black and you're racist," end quote. LMAO, bro, you're bad at fighting, and you're even worse at being an influencer. Your entire IG is just one giant cringe. And then Joaquin tagged me, and he said, "Pin this donkey," with the crying, laughing face. So I pinned his comment. And I did do a poll saying Sean wouldn't say it to Buck's face or Sean would say it to Buck's face. 78% vote Sean would say it to Buck's face. So pretty unanimous decision there. I mean, let's see what happens. Joaquin's not threatening violence, but he wants, a full-on discussion about it. And then we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But, personally, I'm not looking to say the N-word anytime soon. So I'm not one of these guys who needs it as part of my vocabulary. But yeah, that whole acronym, once again, weighing half, white ass N-words going hard as fuck. That's a fucking very popular saying these days. That's a very popular saying, made popular by Nick Fuentes. Clavicular, making it very popular. Sean also said it on stream with Nina on other occasions too. There's a clip of him saying it at a volleyball court. Marvin Vittori, Conor McGregor, you guys know the deal. So, but yeah, Deshaun Strickland. Barrios Strickland is my favorite wigger. I say, Buck, you ain't worth a buck. You're like a 99-cent store. Damn, America First dissing. Tony Sal, Sean versus Buck press conference would be fire. Honestly, it would. It would be good money. Too bad Joaquin's at 170 now. But it would be good money. All we need is them to be on the same card. They don't even have to be fighting each other, and they're going to go back and forth. John Dog says, "Sub, what up, John Dog?" Tyler Bet, so I don't get what he means by picking and choosing when to say it. He's saying that it's tough because Sean is a tough guy. All right, so I'm not going to say that Sean is ever scary. But Tyler Betts, I think what Joaquin's saying is he picks and chooses who he says it in front of. And that's why he used Chris Curtis as an example. That's why he said, "Say it to my face. Say it to Chris Curtis's face." People you think, would care more, so to speak. Are you going to say it to our face or not? And I guess it's a valid question. But that's what he's trying to say is Rampage is an older guy. He happens to also be a black guy. So Sean saw it as an opportunity of there's no risk here. Rampage could get as mad as he wants. It's not going to be a big deal. Versus if active fighters, want to get pissed off about it, it could be a little bit more than a Rampage, beef. Because they're active fighters. And they're not in their fucking 40s. Even though Sean would probably beat them, you know what I mean? He's former world champion now. I'm not going to get it twisted. But they would still give him some problems he might not want to deal with. So I think that's what Joaquin's saying is are you going to say it around people that would question you for saying it? Tyler Betts says maybe his friend Chris don't like it, so he doesn't use it out of respect. Well, that's exactly what Joaquin's saying. So that's why he's saying you're picky and choosing, because you wouldn't say it in front of your friend Chris because you respect him, right? So why are you saying it in front of Rampage? Because you can, you know? That's where he's getting at with it, Tyler Betts. We basically just like landed on the destination right there. We like completed that question. That we went full circle with that one. So now you should definitely know what he means by saying that. Because he doesn't think he would say it in front of him or Chris Curtis. Although 78% of you, according to my poll, think that Sean would say it in front of Joaquin. What's his point? I'm confused. We basically just said it. I just said it. But honestly, he doesn't have much of a point. It's more so like Joaquin wants to have a conversation about it. You know, he even said in the clip, if you watched it and listened, he said, I'm not going to fight you over it. You're not going to get me to act out of character. But I just want to know, like, why you feel comfortable to use that word. You know, I would press you about it and ask you about it. So that's what would happen. That's what would happen. But, you know, Sean kind of went crazy about it, which is kind of funny to me because it's like, you know, Joaquin says don't say it. So, I mean, like, why does Sean want to say it? You know? Shout out to Brian C. 2018. One of the members. Deshaun definitely says it in front of Chris definitely says it in front of Chris all the time. I don't think he does, bro. I personally don't think he does, but he could. Buyer seller says Strickland would say whatever the fuck he wants around anyone he wants. Strickland commented on your post, LOL. Buyer seller, did you just get here? Or no? We just went through all of this. Team Strickland. Shout out to Strick. Shout out to buyer seller saying, yeah, they just got here. Yeah, so that's the Joaquin story with Sean Strickland. Made some national headlines today. Team Fluffy. Honestly, I'm rocking with Strickland in this fight this weekend. I'm rocking with Strick in the fight. Tyler Betts, who you locking in with for the fight? So, Sean Strickland, we're gonna get into the Sean Strickland, I guess, press conference kind of real quick. Then we'll also do the Ryan Garcia one. But this one's good. Just these 3 clips are good just because there's no fluff, and then we'll go to the rest of the clips on the YouTube video. But these are really like concise down. So Sean Strickland went in on Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano. And the quote is, not many people give a fuck about women's MMA in general. It's like the WNBA. So I'm not going to go in too heavily on this because I already have. But I'm just glad that Sean Strickland had something to say about this because there's a lot of disingenuous glazing going on with this fight. You know, we spoke about it with Ariel Helwani, the boys in the back, and then like Ronda and MVP Promotions and Ariel trying to manufacture talking points like this is going to compete with the UFC White House card, that it could overshine it, that it could, you know, potentially be the biggest card of the year. That's dog shit, bro. It's dog shit. And you can listen to yesterday's stream. I talked about it. I elaborated on it from the night before that stream, Tuesday night stream. Okay. So definitely take a look at that if you want to hear my thoughts on it. But this fight is a fraud. And so I'm glad Sean Strickland is voicing his opinion, because more people need to get on platforms and voice their opinion about this, that they don't fuck with it. Because, you know, Ronda Rousey, Ariel Helwani, MVP Promotions, the boys in the back, you know, they're all trying to maliciously build up this fight for whatever reason, bro. But I don't like it. I don't like the metrics of it. If you want to equate this to something, this is like, you know how they're trying to normalize trans in the world today, so to speak. This is what this is like, just as malicious in my opinion. All right, this is just as malicious to normalize this shit, to say that it could ever compete with UFC White House and the Big 26. You know, it's maliciously promoting it, is what I'm trying to say. Just like people think that, you know, trying to normalize trans is like malicious, right? In the schools and all these things. That's what I'm trying to say about this. All right. Crazy example, I know, but I don't really care. Let's get to the clip.
What do you think of the Ronda Gina?
Oh, fuck me, dude. Ronda and Gina. Whoever thought about that, man? Are they going to be half naked? I guess they will be half naked. Might be make it a little better. I don't know, dude. Like, well, let's be honest. Ronda Rousey can.
There's that half naked line again, though. You know, there's that half naked line that everybody likes to say. That's how I know you guys don't necessarily mean it. It's like a tick that people say. It's fine, you know, but everybody says it. It's like the first thing that comes to mind.
Fight. That bitch can fight. She's an Olympian. Weird fucking Olympian. I mean, I think she lost a few fights to her ex, but bitch could fight. Gina always sucked. I like Gina. She's like super conservative. She was hot. You know, I was like a kid when she fought. I may have jerked off to her once or twice back in the day, but I mean, that was like Strikeforce days, right? How long ago was that? I was like a kid, dude. I was like, what, like 12?
Key word, though, like I know he said the whole jerking off thing, and that's totally fine. I'm sure he did jerk off to her, you know. But and it's not a big deal. Like, who gives a fuck? We all jerked off to some fucking random athlete chick that we thought was hot. But it is funny though. But the key word is that he says she always sucked. She always sucked. Okay, so I don't know, because I never watched her fight, but apparently she always sucked. And that makes sense, because she was like an actress turned fighter who went back to acting.
You know, I was jerking off when I was 12. But but yeah, Gina, I mean, she always kind of sucked. You know, she was just hot. And back then, like, women's MMA was like slightly worse than it is now, which is saying a lot. I don't know. Do you guys?
What do you think of the Ronda?
Do you guys care about Gina and Ronda? No. No, you nobody gives a fuck. Maybe if you put some oil on it, you know. Do some dollar bills, people might give a fuck. But really, like, not many people give a fuck about women's MMA in general, you know? It's like the WNBA. Everyone's like, oh, like, no one gives a fuck about women's sports. Like, who cares? Like, you're watching two fucking chicks. Like, you take the weakest, softest motherfucker here, and you guys would beat up Amanda Nunes. Like, fucking the fat guy in the Hawaiian shirt. No offense, dude, I like you, but, like, you fuck up Amanda Nunes any day of the week. Any day. No, she fucking won it, dude. No, she fucking won it. I'm telling you, women are like, and there's nothing wrong with women. I mean, they do great things, you know. They cook, they clean, they make good food. Like, women are great, you know. If it wasn't for, like, pussy and MMA, you guys, I would be in fucking prison. The only thing that kept me out of prison, I always say it's MMA, but no, there are no women in prison, right? Like, do you guys care about, like, that's why I didn't go to fucking prison. Knowing I'm going to have to go be surrounded by a bunch of fucking dudes for 30 years, I'm not doing that shit. But that being said, you know, we gotta remember what women excel at. Having kids, being mothers, making food, cleaning the house. The problem is we've empowered them too much to ruin society. Not you, of course. You're great at your job. You know, it's okay. Most women know. Most leftist women understand that, like, after they get what they want, they're like, this sucks. Right? Like,
I mean, I don't know how Sean just spit so many facts here. It's crazy. Even at the end, bro, it was like the biggest fact of it all, where it's like as soon as women get everything they want, then they just go, this sucks. That's why you can never give women everything they want, bro. That's literally why you can never give women everything they want, because the second you do, it's like, this sucks. This sucks. Like, I got it all. That's why these guys who are like, I did it all for her and she still left me. It's like, yeah, it's because you did it all for her, homie. I don't know who needs to tell you that, but it's because you did it all for her. All right, you got to keep her kind of like low key begging for some. Women are weird creatures. They like to have this whole like this whole begging effect going on, and you got to like oblige it. You got to let it feed your ego. Some guys look at it the wrong way and stuff. It's a complicated topic, but all you guys need to know is you don't give them everything they want, because bottom line, the second you give them everything that they want, they realize it's boring and they leave. Now you can equate that to anything. You can equate that to anything. Sean's equating that to the women's rights. They advocated for all these rights, they got them, and now it's like it ain't shit. They still need more and like all this stuff, and they're still complaining. Thank you, Tuxedo, for the $2 dono saying they should be property. Shout out to Tuxedo. I don't want to be too crazy. My mom do be watching, but you guys can say whatever the fuck you want. But my mom would be like, "Oh, that's so disrespectful." So I'm gonna leave that one out. Otto says, "True. You got to keep them interested. You can't reveal everything about yourself." Nah. I mean, it sounds crazy too, but like honestly, you're better off if a chick like thinks that you're It sounds crazy to say, and I don't want to be on this topic for too long, but there could be a situation like if you don't reveal a lot about yourself, right, and you keep them at an arm's length, that they're gonna think in the back of their head that like you're like she's one of many chicks that you're inviting over to your house as part of a rotation. Just to let you guys know, they would prefer that. They would prefer to be in that situation. They like that kind of thing. I'm just telling you. So this whole good guy thing, if you're one of those guys, it will never work out for you. And I'm sure you know that as a good guy, but like, yeah. Don't reveal everything about yourself. Keep the mystery there. It's all going to work in your favor. The second you give them everything, bro, oh God, you're screwed. Juice says, Sean even got me rooting against a fellow NorCal boy. That's true. Sean's a Cali boy. Sean's kind of basically from my area. He like an hour away from me, 45 minutes away from me. Juice says Sean is goated. Sean is goated. Even though him and Joaquin are beefing, like I don't like have anything against Sean personally. Like, come on. Who doesn't love Sean? I'd honestly be curious to see what happens when they run into each other. I don't think Sean and Joaquin necessarily hate each other. We'll see what happens. And then I did see a comment I wanted to read. Buyer seller saying literally no one cares about this fight, TBH. Good for them, but no one really cares. Yeah, and I know no one really cares, buyer seller, and I wouldn't even be harping on it so much, The reason why I'm harping on it so much is because of that like inflating the market that a lot of people are doing for this card. So the record needs to be set straight, but you're right, no one cares. What up, Space Kid? I see you in the chat, homie. Tyler Bet says, this that bad? But we watching Miller versus Edwards. I mean, I don't even know what fight you're talking about, Tyler Betts. America First says, here's the thing, Buck. Strickland knows what gets him attention. You, Buck, on the other hand, still trying to find yourself. Strickland is not the confused one. You are, Buck. Find your niche. Okay, America First. That's a wild statement. But, for starters, I do think Buck... Well, that's an interesting thing that you say, America First, because let's keep it a buck here. I think... look at my engagement on my post that I made with Joaquin compared to everyone else's. 7,000 likes, 887 comments. Now, this was today. Okay, this was today a few hours ago. But, Mike Perry, we outdid Mike Perry by a landslide. 2K likes, 60 comments. You know what I mean? Ain't shit. They ain't talking about shit. How about this one? Joaquin in a DBX interview, 813 likes, 50 comments. Ain't shit. They ain't talking about shit. All right, here's Joaquin with another Mike Perry collab, 1,900 likes, 34 likes. Sorry, I'm talking too fast. 1,900 likes, 34 comments. They ain't talking about shit. Okay, how about this one? Joaquin, a clip from his thing. I don't mean to offend Joaquin, but let me just pop my shit. Okay, 2,300 likes, 212 comments. They ain't talking about shit. Okay, this was posted days ago. Joaquin calling out Dana, responding to Dana. 5,500 likes, 215 comments. Ain't shit. Okay, he talking, but it ain't shit compared to this post. All right, this one too. 1,800 likes, 175 comments. Not dirty boxing, but overdogs, right? Ain't shit. Who gets Joaquin the fucking clout? And wait, before I won't do you guys dirty. There's one that Joaquin got a lot of views on, and it's this one. 49K.
If me and you
49K likes. Okay, so he outdid me on this one. He definitely outdid me on this one, and that was Joaquin. So Joaquin do know what he's posting about. But my point is even if Joaquin didn't know what gets attention, I know what gets him attention. And that's why I always get all the interviews. Everyone always want to ask me. How you get these interviews with Buck? Why do you get these interviews with Buck? Asking a million, whatever a million types of questions you want to ask, right? And this actually goes to another thing I wanted to say earlier. So let me just do this whole segue and pop my shit. We got we got Mr. Fight Society wondering how Nick Diaz calls me, right? Maybe it's because I know what gets attention. Do you think it's a coincidence that I outperformed the last 3 Overdogs podcast clips? The last 3 combined, I outperformed it combined, bro. Combined. 2, 4, 6,000 likes. Less than 300 comments. This has 7,100 likes, 800 comments. The last 3 Overdogs podcast clips combined, I outdid in one fucking post. Okay? This all needs to be heard, though. This all needs to be said. And at the end of the day, America first, I love the comment because it's like, I think Joaquin does know what gets him attention, but even if he didn't, guess who does? Guess who does know what actually gets attention? It's like, I'm going to leave it alone. Okay, but I just told you, I outperformed, Overdog's last 3 clips combined in one post. Overdog's last 3 clips combined in one post. Okay, Joaquin collabing, 1,800 likes, right? 1,900 likes. This is between Mike Perry, Overdogs, Joaquin. This is what they're getting between the 3 of their powerhouse accounts. Okay, 1,800 likes, right? 1,900 likes. What am I getting off of no collab? Because you want to wonder, right? Everyone want to know. If you think it's a toss-up because, Joaquin collab with you, I just showed you it's not. But how about this
hopefully
one? 1,200 likes on this one. Michael Morales. Joaquin telling Michael Morales come out of the closet so he can be the UFC's first gay male UFC champion. Me and Joaquin, we the best dynamic duo there is. I know the perfect questions to answer him, or I know the perfect questions to ask him. He got the perfect answers. I lob up the softballs. He fucking hits home runs out the park. You feel me? This one, cooking, bro. Cooking. I couldn't have thought of this. He should come out of the closet so he can be the UFC's first gay male champion. I had no clue he's going to say this. But I lobbed up the softball for him. Boom, out the park. Okay? The Sean Strickland thing. Lob up the softball. Boom, out the park. Okay, then I go make the posts. I caption it the right way. This is an art, bro. This is an art. Not everyone can do this. And, if you can, then you would. If you could, then you would. Lots of people try. And honestly, I'm going to say this. A collab really don't mean shit. Because plenty of fighters collab and the shit got no aura to the post and they do like 100 likes. Why? Because people can feel it off the back. It's more than the caption. It's more than the question. It's more than the answer. It's all of it. You got to put aura behind the post. And it's a feel. You got to have your finger on the pulse. So, I just got to pop that shit. I got to. And with all that being said, Mr. Fight Society, get to work. We made a new headline. You got a video to make, buddy. Mr. Fight Society, Ginger homie, you got a video to make, homie. We just made more national news headlines in MMA. Go make your video off my content. Now you probably won't because you want some hate and shit, but you just throwing away money because this is viral content. And what do I always say? I'm the only player in town usually because nobody wants to post my shit. So guess what? I be making viral content. I posted myself. I'm the only player in town. So Mr. Fight Society, get to work, homie. You got another video to make. You know, you got another video to make. Homie came in my chat talking shit to me, you know, talking shit in his video, discrediting me. Homie, get to work. You got another fight or another video to make. Redhead stepchild, Fight Society look gay as fuck. Real shit. Exactly. Off the back. I don't follow any other media, TBH. Your IG is good, TBH. Wyatt, take notes. Fight Society is a hater. Fuck him. Fuck that dude. I'm still waiting. We could run the fade anytime. You know, anytime. Tell him to get to work. You know, he got a video to make. There's not enough content in the MMA space. I'm the one who makes it. So tell him to go get to work. He was sitting on his hands. All right, sitting on his hands. He bashes a bunch of YouTubers. Yeah, because he a hater, bro. He a hater. Straight up hater. What's funny is he came in trying to flex like he was going to interview somebody. Like, I don't know. He said something about like, you know, wait on this. You know, shit. I wasn't waiting. I was too busy working. And we got our workout first. We made the national headlines. Where's your national headlines in MMA? You don't got none. America First says, you proved my point, Brandon. I think he's saying it's you. Shit, it's me. It's me. Juice says he don't want it, bro. I told him you needed that fade and he turned it down. There we go. It's official. Homie never even, like, I was thinking about this the other day. Homie never even made another, like, a response video. You know, like, where was your response video to my fucking call out? Like, you just like completely let all your viewers down, Mr. Fight Society. I make a video clowning you. You don't even respond. All your followers are asking for you. Are you going to fight this guy? Are you going to accept the challenge? What do you have to say to him? He says nothing. He says absolutely nothing. Keeps his head down and keeps walking. Listen, I'm not the one who even started that. All right, I'm not even the one who started that. It all started because he was questioning why Nick Diaz would talk to a guy like me. Bro, how rude. How rude. What are you trying to insinuate? What are you trying to insinuate? You feel me? How rude, bro. You trying to insinuate that I'm a nobody? Shit, bro, that's just rude. That's just rude, homie. Shit. I wouldn't do that to you. I definitely wouldn't do that to you. You should pop in his chat and steal some viewers. Honestly, Tyler Betts, I honestly, like, I find him repulsive, homie. I find him repulsive. Juice Man says ginger homie. Bro, be cool. LMAO, squash it. Y'all both my boys. Shout out to the Juice Man. My bad, boys. I got Brandon started. America First. I know you've been trying. America First been trying for weeks. Weeks to get me started. I feel it. I've been feeling it for weeks. America First been writing these chats. Yeah, you got me going, America First. We off topic right now. Space Kid just joined, but he says, fuck Fight Society. Fuck Fight Society. We don't fuck with you, homie. Come get this work, homie. He showed you his back like the gay MMA guy. Oh, that reminds me of one thing I just wanted to bring up to you guys. What do we make of this? Repulsive is hilarious. I mean, I do. I straight find him repulsive. I'm sorry, has Luke Thomas ever reported to or reacted to anything Fight Society has ever done in his life? Pretty sure Luke Thomas doesn't even know Fight Society exists. You know? Please, bro. Please. this one, I want you guys to know another thing. This one post with Joaquin probably gonna do like, I mean, it's already done around 500,000 views. 200 on IG. We got 46K on here. 182K on champ rounds. I mean, that's already at over 400K. I'm talking collective views. Obviously, I'm talking collective views. You know, other people posted it too, though. Luke Thomas just got 40K off posting it. Homa Fight got 73K off posting it. That other guy I showed you earlier in the stream, he got like 40K off posting it. So, you know, like over 500,000 people have seen this one clip. You know, I want, you know, that fucking idiot, you know, who don't know shit, that bird for brain, that fucking ginge. All right. Tell him go make a video off this. Make sure he credits me. Or hey, make sure, tell him go make a video off this. Make sure he credits me, or I might hit him with a strike. No, I'm playing. I won't hit him with a strike. I actually wouldn't do that. As long as he doesn't steal my whole video again, like he did the first time. Nah, but let's see what else. Tyler Betts says, poll, do you fuck with Fight Society? Honestly, Tyler Betts, I feel you, but too much attention. Like this I'm very like I will I will not give this guy any cast of any like dub. This guy will get no dub on me. All right. And I even think he would view it as a dub if I put up a poll in my chat. He'd be like, you know, he'd look at that as a dub for himself. So no, he not getting a poll. He not even worth a poll. He repulsive. I'm not hopping in his chat. He not getting a poll. You know, tell him he should be editing a video right now. You know what I mean? But shout out to Tyler Betts. It's a fair question. But I'm telling you, when I'm on you, bro. When I'm on you, I'm on you. Like, shit. Aaron Roberts says, Bromo MMA is a hater too. You familiar with him? No, I'm not. I'm not familiar with Bromo MMA. America First says, the point is this, Brandon. We roll with you because you ask the questions we want answers to. Clap back Thursday. My man, America First. America First, thank you for always supporting. Thank you for your continued support. I love having you in the chat. All right? You must know that. Why it is so smug, bro. I'm glad you guys can see that, bro. And that's honestly why I went in so hard on that bitch. That's why I went in so hard on that bitch. Because honestly, the guys who watch this channel, I think there's one thing you guys can appreciate, which is a level of genuineness I bring. You know, a level of genuineness I bring. And I want to say, although I am a crazy guy and I say a lot of crazy things, you know, there's a level of, I will say like niceness that I also bring to the table probably. And if you go and you watch other people, you will smell the fake on them. You will just smell the fake on them. You know, you will smell the fake on them because over here we keep it too real. We like breaking the fourth wall over here. You know, this ain't no ego shit over here. We just being genuine. We being real. And, you know, that smug shit, I would never be smug because I hate that shit. Passive aggressive shit, I would never be that because I hate that. You know? Tony Sal says, Wyatt thinks he is a badass because he trains BJJ. I'd literally knock him out. He said he's a personal trainer, quote, to little dudes like Castro. Homie, you don't want me to pop this shit right now. You don't want me to pop this shit right now. I want to pop this shit right now. Oh, there he goes, JK homie, LOL. Yeah, Tyler, don't get me started. I might have to pop this shit again. Fight Society wears a dress. Probably. Anyway, okay, that's enough of that one. That's enough. We went on a decent-sized rant on homie. But yeah, it was just to rub it in his face once again. He did say he's a PT, though. Bro, that's like, I don't want to hate on a you know, I'm going to leave him alone, but I'm sure you guys know what I have to say. Bro's just Bro is just a clown, bro. I would literally knock his ass out. And I'd probably out grapple him too. What is he, like a black belt? Homie, a black belt or no? Honestly, I don't even want to talk about him anymore, though. Thoughts on the ASU frat leader frame mogging clavicular? Oh, I mean, homie got a good physique on him. I think I would frame Mog. What's his name? I think I would frame Mog Fight Society. I've had a coworker have a midlife crisis and quit to become a PT. Why the fuck did he think that was a good decision? Why? I just want to know the trade-off he thought he was going to get by like quitting to become a PT. What's the trade-off? Stockton slapped that fool. Shit. Give me the opportunity. Honestly, he sounds like just the type of idiot that needs to get his ass beat anyway. You know, he sounds like just the type of idiot that needs to get his ass beat. Did you see Dean the Great situation? Yes, I did. I did see it. Okay. So we can change topics. I'll knock Strickland out. Shout out to Soda Pop. We got Soda Pop in here. Shout out to homie. Soda Pop, what you think? We went viral with Buck today. I was just bragging, Soda Pop. I don't know if you heard it, but I was telling the boys, you know, we outdid Overdog's last 3 posts. We outdid it in 1, bro. We outdid it in 1. So, aside from that clip that I showed you of Sean Strickland dissing the Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano fight, you know, I went on my little rant about that. Why anti-Strickland? Oh, he's saying he would knock out Strickland because Joaquin's #1 supporter. So, you know, you go against Joaquin, you go against Soda Pop. And because of what Sean said, Strickland dropped Buck. Okay, so homie read the comments. I mean, I don't think Strickland's lying. I know that they sparred in the past.
And look at the
Okay, so Strickland went off on the NFL for having Bad Bunny perform at this year's Super Bowl halftime show. He dropped the F slur. Now, luckily, well, actually, what's crazy is that when I posted this, I didn't post it with any censorship. And Instagram, which is known for just letting you post anything, Instagram that's known for letting you post anything, bro. I mean, you could post like basically borderline corn on there. You know, like the craziest little reveals for OF models is on IG and like X. But yeah, I say that just to say that they like I violated the guidelines of like hate speech or something. So I had to re-upload it with it being censored. But Sean Strickland, you know, he dropped the F slur on Bad Bunny while he was reacting to his Super Bowl halftime show. So I mean, he hates Bad Bunny as much as I hate Fight Society. He's like, I don't even want to say his name. You say it. Same type of shit. Lewis says, not impressed with Buck. Well, I'm sure you will be when he comes back and, you know, knocks the next opponent out, Lewis. By the way, I saw Carlos Prates posted today, like, you know, the offer's been sent. They say the ball's in your court. Joaquin recently went on his social media saying he received an offer from Sean Shelby. So, I mean, could Joaquin versus Carlos Prates be in the works right now? Maybe, bro. Maybe. And I mean, Joaquin knocking that smoker out. He is smoker, bro. Joaquin knocking his ass the fuck out. Lewis, what you think? Lewis, what you think? Who wins, Carlos Prates or Joaquin Buckley? You better not pick that smoker. You better not pick that fucking smoker, Lewis. He a smoker and a drinker now, Lewis. Come on now. Tyler Betts says NFL has gone gay though. Rainbow colored Super Bowl logo this year. Sucks having it on my Seahawks champ shirt. Matches with my J Balvin my J Balvin Jordan 3s though. Well, at least it matches with the Balvins. But honestly, like ever since I moved out of my mom's house, which was like a long time ago. It's got to be like 8 years ago or something like that. I moved out when I was like 22. But I have not watched, like, I used to watch all kinds of NFL and like baseball and shit because my mom had cable, but I haven't had like a legit cable subscription in years. So ever since I moved out of my mom's house, so I don't watch no NFL. Like I literally only watch the UFC, believe it or not. Like I don't know what's going on in NFL. I don't know what's going on in baseball. I didn't even watch the Super Bowl. Like I straight didn't watch a second of it. Didn't even turn it on. Lewis says Buckley would be cooked with that. Protez by Chaos. So what? Too skilled. Bro, he is smoker, Lewis. He is smoker. He is smoker. Lewis, what would you say if Joaquin knocks out Protez? Would that earn your respect? Anyone who thinks Protez beats Buck hasn't seen how badly Protez deals with pressure. As soon as Protez can't move forward, it's over for him. He can't fight moving backwards. Protez can't fight moving backwards. Aaron Roberts says Sean got effed by his dad. Oof. I mean, that's the rumor. Sean has all but alleged it. Well, actually, he says that specifically didn't happen, but he almost says it. I don't know. That's a very interesting topic, actually, Aaron. That whole Sean and his dad topic. Not something that we need to get into, but there's a lot to that. Like, even though Sean's dispelled the rumor, the jury's still out. That's what I'm trying to say. Lewis says, yes, of course. I'd respect him, but doubtful he wins. Okay. All right, Lewis. Well, make sure you subscribe because Joaquin is a regular on the channel. He's like a main character on this channel. In fact, for the BMF title fight, he's going to be doing the live stream and fight companion. He was going to do it this week. It was locked in, but he's attending the fights at UFC Houston. So I told him no. But like I told him yes, and he told me he was going to still do it from the fights at UFC Houston. But I was like, bro, you're going to have bad internet and shit. It's not going to work. It's just not going to work. Like, we can't rely on that. You need to just be back home, and then we'll do it then. So now we're going to do it for the BMF title fight. So make sure you subscribe, Lewis. Bros before hoes. Oh, yep. Lewis says, oh, shit, so he wouldn't be happy with me. Honestly, Lewis, I mean, I don't think as long as you keep it respectful, like, if you think that Protez would knock out Joaquin, I don't think it would piss him off. If you're disrespectful to him, then yeah. But if you have an opinion, I don't think he would be too upset, no. Soda Pop says, LMAO, Buck a real one for that. Soda Pop, Buck hit me with the, I'm gonna be in UFC Houston, but I got my AirPods. I'm like, nah, bro, you like, fuck the AirPods. Like, let's just do it when you get back, homie. Like, what's Buck's gonna be streaming from the fucking stands at UFC Houston, reporting live on scene. Honestly, after I told him no, I imagined that what I just said in my head, where it's like reporting live on scene, like Joaquin walking around UFC Houston getting interviews on his cell phone. That like crossed my mind after I told him let's just do it when he gets back. But he'll be on for the Holloway thing, so stay tuned. He did confirm it. We were talking today behind the scenes about the Strickland thing as well. Nothing really worth sharing. Guy is willing to do the live stream while at the fights. Yeah. I think Joaquin does not like to bail. Soda Pop says, AirPods are trash, Buck. What the heck? Real men use the wired buds. Yeah, what's up with this trend that the wired buds are coming back? Oh, Tyler Betts is saying, get a third guest. Honestly, I could facilitate like a, hey, MMA Holes, what's poppin', homie? Good to see you, brother. Everybody make sure you show MMA Holes some love. We fuck with MMA Holes over here. All right. But no, that third guest sounds like a great idea, Tyler Betts. Sounds like a great idea. Honestly, I got a couple ideas in mind, but I got to keep them under wraps because sometimes I think that, like, you know, if I say it out loud, someone's going to steal it from me. But I'll actually just say it for the one time. I'll say it for the one time. Maybe like him and Phil Rowe or him and SD. I could facilitate that. You know, Phil. Yeah. Maybe like SD or McKinney. Nah, yeah. Tyler Betts. What about like an SD Joaquin or Phil Rowe and Joaquin? Honestly, Phil Rowe and SD and Joaquin, they all have very different, but like great personalities. Like great personalities. It's hard to explain, but like they just say the most like profound things at times and they're hilarious. Like one time SD, when we were talking about people hating on him, he's like, everybody hated Jesus. It's like, oh God, don't tell me you're comparing yourself to Jesus right now. But like it makes sense. It's kind of funny. And Phil Rowe has definitely had his viral moments on this channel as well. Phil Rowe gonna do the stream mid fight, yep. Nah, but Phil and Joaquin recently did an interview, I heard. It hasn't dropped yet. It should be dropping because Phil's fighting this week. But I heard Joaquin and Phil did an interview. So, all three of us now know each other, like on a personal level. So, that would actually be some good chemistry. You know, that'd be some good chemistry for sure. Shit, Phil get a win this weekend. Let's run it. Let's run it for the BMF title fight. I'll hit him up. I'll definitely hit him up. Tyler Betts says, I know the industry plant, Caden, Jable, got SD, McKinney, and Shamrock locked in, though. Yeah. Nah, shout out to that kid. Shout out to that kid. I think he's doing a good job. To be honest with you guys. You know, I think there's a natural inclination to wanna maybe just like throw shade or something. But honestly, that kid's done a pretty good job. And with all that being said, though, I think that he well, I'll just say maybe he got some inspiration from me. He'll never admit it, but I'm sure he does get inspiration, from something along the lines of what I do. I'm telling you, I think a lot of these up and coming guys, there's one guy to look at, and it's me. You know, if you're a guy who wants to get into MMA and you want to start like, making the content, I mean, Ariel's too far distanced, to be like trying to manufacture your content off of what he does. I think you got to look at somebody more feasible like myself. Just to be honest. Like, what are you going to do? You're going to look at Ariel's setup and like go manufacture a studio and get a team of 8 and have all these editors and all this stuff. Like, you're going to start off interviewing DDP and Tom Aspinall. Like, you have to look at a creator like myself who's trying to branch in. Like, Ariel too distanced to try to use as inspiration anymore, to be honest. Do you mog MMA Guru? I would frame mog the fuck out of MMA Guru, yeah. Yeah, I would. I might even victim max him too. I would victim max, what's his name though? I would definitely victim max Fight Society. Most likely victim maxing Guru. I mean, based off Guru's wrestling, I'm definitely taking Guru down. You know? Thoughts on doing an MMA YouTube collab with MMA Guru? I would be down. I think he's, I'd fuck with him. MMA Guru could be used as YouTube inspiration. That's true, Lewis. That's true. But the thing about Guru, I know he does interviews, but and I don't do as many interviews right now because I started doing a lot more streaming. But he wasn't doing interviews before, so like, how do you you should get what I'm saying. I did take inspiration from Guru though. I wouldn't be afraid to say that. Ariel's way too Natan Levy. Yeah, he is. What's JGD talking about? Something about talking about rent. Hey, JD, what you talking about, homie? What you talking about, homie? I think I pay over $2,000 to live in this bitch. Okay, I've teased it long enough. Let's take a look. Sean Strickland going off on Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime performance, dropping the F slur. Shout out to Sean Strickland.
The NFL, dude, you had that. I don't even want to say that name because, like, it's just like, what somebody give me his name. Just come say his name. I don't want to say it. You know what I'm talking about. The halftime show guy, the Puerto Rican, right? Puerto Rican.
Bad Bunny?
Bro, yeah, that like, dude, it is so crazy that this is America now. Like, back in the day, dude, the NFL was the standard of being a man. And now every year, the NFL, I think they all get together around a table and say, you know what, guys, how do we ruin this sport? How do we gay it up? How do we ruin it? Well, I'll tell you what, why don't we bring a gay foreigner who doesn't speak English and have him perform it? Like, get the and then you have, like, yeah, dude, it's like, the NFL is, like, pathetic these days. So even, like, the NFL players probably hate it. Yeah, no. NFL's gay. I think we can all agree the NFL got real gay lately. And look at the NFL, dude. You had that.
So this is like what I was referring. It's kind of crazy how this ties into what I was saying about this, which is like, you know, even how Sean, like, I used the example of them trying to normalize like the transgenderism today and like weaponizing media to do so. And then Sean Strickland says that about the NFL too, you know,
And look at the
like, why is everything getting gayed out? It's a valid question. You know, it's a very valid question. Like, and this is no shot to the gays. You know, all the gays worldwide, this isn't a shot. But it's just like, why is the NFL getting gayed out? Like, why is there an agenda? You know, is Bad Bunny gay? I thought homie dated Kendall Jenner. But regardless, like, I'm seeing that there's a rainbow flag being represented on the Seahawks Super Bowl shirt and shit. Like, what's the deal with that? What's the deal with that? This over progressivism. And, you know, that's my fear with the UFC. Okay, so if I can tie this all in, Tyler Betts, this includes you, motherfucker. Or if I could tie this all in. All right, what's happening to the NFL. All right, what's happened to the NFL getting gayed out. They are using, I'm going to be very specific with this one. He deserves it this time around. Oh, I can't wait to say what I need to say. They are using this guy to gay out MMA. They're using him and his platform. He's been compromised. He's been bought by somebody. This is my personal belief. Him and the boys in the back have completely betrayed the trust of the fans across the MMA community for their takes on Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano, saying that it would compete with UFC White House for the biggest event of the year, that it could potentially overshadow it if they don't book a bigger fight than Ilya versus Justin Gaethje. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? This guy right here on screen, in the blue jacket to be specific, not in the white shirt. Okay, this guy in the blue jacket and the beanie with the little face going on right here, he's gay. He's been planted to gay out the UFC and MMA. It's of my belief, it's of my opinion, he's being paid to gay out the UFC and MMA. The usual suspects. Isn't it crazy? Isn't it crazy how the usual suspects are gaying out MMA? What's going on with this? What's going on with this? To see Ronda fighting outside the UFC, especially right before the White House card, is fascinating. And for this to be on Netflix is incredible. This is a real jolt of excitement for MMA, which, let's be honest, has felt a little stale at times. So this is what I'm trying to say. This is why he's gaying out MMA. He's bringing down MMA to big up this fight. He's dissing MMA as a whole, calling it stale, saying that this fight is the jolt of excitement the sport as a whole needs. The manipulation is crazy. All right, this is crazy. Then talking about, yes, it's just a one-off for now, but it'll be interesting to see if MVP can build momentum in MMA the way they have with boxing super fights and their impressive women's roster. Impressive women's roster. Ariel is a plant to gay out MMA and the UFC and potentially boxing. Now, since I'm on this topic, I want to go through this video again because it needs to be said. It needs to be said. And Jude did say they can never gay out MMA. They can't ever gay out MMA. Well, Jude, listen, as long as I'm on this fucking camera, right, and on this microphone, I won't let it happen. Even if they did let it happen, I wouldn't let it. You know? We are at war with Ariel and the boys in the back and his entire, operation right now. But let's listen to it because there's more I need to say.
Netflix and Most Valuable Promotions, that the dream fight that we never thought was going to happen, at least not in the year 2026, the one that we had been talking about for quite some time, and I'll give you some of the backstory, is actually in fact going to happen. It's the return of Ronda Rousey going up against Gina Carano, who is also making her return to MMA. Ronda Rousey has not fought in a pro MMA fight since December of 2016 when she lost to Amanda Nunes. Afterwards, you may recall, she left the UFC and pursued a career in WWE, did a long stint there, left WWE not that long ago, decided to focus on motherhood and other projects. But here she is coming back against the pioneer, the trailblazer, the first face of women's MMA. Certainly, if you ask me, the one that was fighting on CBS long before the UFC got there back in 2008, the one and only Gina Carano, who has not fought since 2009 when she fought, of course, Chris Cyborg in San Jose, afterwards pursuing a career in film. The Mandalorian project was her biggest, Haywire, of course, and so here it is. And there's so much to dissect here. There's so much to digest. First, the details. May 16th, Intuit Dome, site of the NBA All-Star Game this past weekend. Inglewood, California, that beautiful arena that hosted the UFC event 2 Januaries ago. It was supposed to be Arman Tsarukyan against Islam Makhachev. It ended up being Islam versus Renato. You've seen it. It's phenomenal. Live on Netflix, promoted by Most Valuable Promotions. Let's focus on those 2 items. First ever MMA card to air live on Netflix. Massive deal. By now, you know they've had a few forays into the world of boxing, but never before MMA. This is their first. And the first MMA card promoted by MVP. That's Jake Paul and Nikisa Badarian. They, of course, have, plied their trade in the world of boxing. And so here they are jumping into the world of MMA with 2 legends in a dream fight, and they brought it to Netflix. Pro MMA.
2 legends in a dream fight. No. Not whatsoever. Gina Carano never even fought in the UFC.
Fight, 145 pounds, 5 5-minute rounds in a hexagon. As of right this second, no other fights have been announced. I know they're taking a big swing here. I suspect big names will be on this card. And it's unclear at this time.
Just going to say suspecting big names, already bigging it up. Why don't you let it wait and play out, bro? Why are you already glazing Jake so heavily? I suspect they're going to have big names. In what relation? In relation to what? Because the main event isn't even big names. So what? You expect me to believe you're going to have names? What? Like, come on. The main event isn't even big names. You're definitely not going to have bigger names than the main event on the card. But here you are assuming that, oh yeah, they're going to get some big names. They got Ronda Rousey, Gina Carano headlining it, brother. Wake up. You're not going to get bigger names than that. That's why they're headlining it. Therefore, this card is effectively fucked. Okay? Not enough Anderson Silva versus Chris Weidman 3s could ever save this card. More fights nobody asked for. More retired UFC fighters fighting for a paycheck, offering no historical value to any fights because they're long gone, they're retired, it ain't taking place in the UFC. If a fight has no historical value, it means nothing. It shouldn't be talked about in this light, point blank, period. Point blank, period. No historical value to this fight whatsoever. This is essentially an exhibition.
If it's a one-off for MVP as far as MVP MMA is concerned, or Netflix MMA is concerned, but man, what a splash. And then when you consider the fact that, wait a second, like didn't we think all this time that Ronda Rousey and Dana White were very close? And I suspect they are still close. But to see her come back, not under the UFC banner, in May, a month or so before that big White House card, this is a fascinating time, and it's also, I think, a jolt of adrenaline and excitement for the world of MMA, which, let's be honest, at times has felt a little bit stale, if only because the UFC has no competition. And I'm not here to suggest that MVP is the new competition for the UFC as far as MMA is concerned. This, for now, is just a singular event. But if they could get some momentum, just like they had a singular event not that long ago that spawned into this, massive business with MVPW and all this stuff, the times could get very, very interesting.
Okay, so I mean, that's all I got to say about it. That's all I got to say about it. Wait, did somebody say something on here? They said stop gaslighting. Yeah, look, Ariel, stop the bullshit. We know MVP employs your services, but stop acting like this is a jolt. Ronda hasn't won a fight in 10 years, 17 for Gina, and both got embarrassingly KO'd and exposed in their last fights. I'd rather listen to Juliana Pena on the mic than watch whatever this is going to be. So do you see what I mean, bro? Come on now. Stop gaslighting us into thinking this fight is a big deal. Gotta love Ariel. LOL. How's Ronda fighting for MVP even a talking point? So these guys are, so I'm glad that the whole community knows it, but these guys are literal frauds, bro. They're just frauds. And, they're essentially wolves in sheep clothing. They're essentially wolves in sheep clothing. Look at him. He looks like a fucking little innocent, can't harm anyone. I'm wearing the glasses. I got my cute little beanie on and my clunky little button-up shirt. It is a clunky ass shirt. It's all a gimmick, bro. He a wolf in sheep clothing. He has no good intentions. No good intentions. He's never bigged up one MMA journalist, to be honest with you. Moving along with the Sean Strickland commentary, he did react to the Tiki Gosen knockout. Not knockout, but elbowing Dean the Great. So we're going to take a look. Okay, so Jew says, well, I think Jew's talking to me. I haven't been looking at the chat, so okay, yep, Jew definitely agrees with me. He says, I see what you mean now. I'm with the cause of not supporting now. He's a weasel. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad that we fucking converted you. We will be converting a lot more of you in the coming days. It's because it needs to be done. This is God's work. Okay, guys, this is God's work. All right, the usual suspects are here to gay out MMA, and I'm doing the Lord's work right now. That's why it has to be done. It's God's work right now. We cannot let Ariel and the usual suspects gay out MMA. We just cannot let that shit happen. Literally what's happened to the NFL, if we just let the shit keep squeaking by, not calling it out, bro, we're going to find ourselves in the same situation as the NFL. Even though they could never do it, we just want to take all the precautions. We want to take all the precautions. Even though they could never do that to our beloved sport, we want to take the precautions. So I'll end that topic just by saying nobody watch Ronda versus Gina, because I guess with all that being said, if anybody's a new viewer for just this show or something, or you haven't been kept up with the last shows, with all that being said, all that negativity about Ronda Rousey, Ariel, weaponizing his platform to gay out MMA, him and the boys in the back. So now the question is, well, what do we do? You presented us with this problem. What do we do? Ariel, the Antichrist of MMA, can't ever trust a... Shout out to Jew. Okay, but now you're asking, what do we do? Right? What you do not watch Gina Carano versus Ronda Rousey. You do not partake in increasing those numbers whatsoever. Every view counts. All right. This will be the equivalent of if you want to strike against the UFC with women's fighting, what do? You don't just take a piss break while the women are fighting. You turn the stream off. You X out of the stream while the women are fighting. You make the viewership tank. You want the stats to tank. All right. And that's what you guys will do for Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano. All right. So that because Ariel will be trying to gay out the sport on that night. So don't let his fucking narratives, don't let him gaslight you into watching it. You will not be watching that. And that's how you change it. That's how you make sure Ariel will never gay out MMA. Okay. Now let's go ahead and watch this clip. Sean Strickland again going crazy, but he says, that's what a woman beating rapist does. If you're going to fight a man, you give him the option. So, Sean, he's been calling Tiki Gosen a pedo for a long time now, over a year, like going on 2 years probably. Sean Strickland used to train at his gym in Huntington Beach, California, very close to me. And that's where Tiki is accused of allegedly doing some misconduct, some SA, some misconduct. I don't think it's SA, but sexual misconduct, according to Strickland. So with that being said, let's watch it.
Viral clip of like Tiki that like goes and like, he knocks out the streamer, which was a sucker punch, by the way. Like everyone's like, oh man, it's really dope that you did that. Like, was it dope? Like you had a cup and you sucker punched a guy in the face. What would be dope to say, all right, man, you want to fucking fight? Make the circle. Like, that's what a fucking man does, dude. Like, what a woman-beating fucking rapist, like, that's what he does. He just looks away like, oh, yeah, you serious? You serious? Boom, sucker punch. Like, what? That's kind of being a little bitch to me. If you're going to fucking fight a man, you say, you give him the option. And, like, there's that viral clip of, like, Tiki that, like, goes and, like,
I mean, to be honest, it is kind of a more baller move to clear the crowd and run the fade. But Tiki old, so he definitely needed to get the jump on Dean the Great. In my opinion, if they fucking circled up and shit, it would have been a lot more even. I guess that's all I can say. It would have been a lot more even. But Strickland had a few more, spicy things to say. I don't know if anybody follows Sam Solik at all, but he has a bodybuilding show coming up in a few days. See, he's 16 days out from his bodybuilding show, so shout out to Sam. I fuck with Sam Solik heavy. Real, Sam a real one, just like me. So if you like watching my content, to be honest with you, Sam is a great person to watch, especially if you want to like get into fitness or something. The Sean Strickland Media Day.
Hey, Sean, how are you?
Good morning, afternoon. Good afternoon. Get a little better. I don't know. Do you guys care about Gina and Ronda? No.
So there's a lot of bullshit.
Fucked up, man. Hockey's like the last man. Fucking gay, dude. Go suck cock.
So this was interesting. Sean sharing his thoughts on gays. I thought this one was interesting because, Sean gets a bad rap and stuff. And I was actually going to clip this off. But, after the Bad Bunny thing, Sean talked about his thoughts on gays. And then he instantly segued into trans, his thoughts on trans. So the like Ju said earlier on, Sean basically interviewed himself. He did, because they asked Sean about Ronda versus Gina. And then Sean segued himself into sharing his thoughts about gay people, Super Bowl and Bad Bunny, and then trans people. And then he let them ask the next question. So he's like, yeah, let me answer your question. Let me get 3 things off my chest, and then I'll let you ask another question. Then I'm going to get 4 more things off my chest. So, I mean, excellent work by Sean Strickland, if I may say so. This is how you do a media day. If you are a up-and-coming fighter looking to get attention, not saying you need to say the things Strickland says, but you don't need to wait for the questions to be asked either. You got an opinion. Well, shit, let me make it real simple. You ever been in a Call of Duty lobby? I saw someone drop it in the chat already. You ever been in a Call of Duty lobby? That's what you do. You act like you're in a fucking Call of Duty lobby. You just start talking your shit. All right. It's basically what I do on here. I act like I'm in a Call of Duty lobby, just talking to the boys. But let's listen to Sean speak about his thoughts on gays, then trans.
Foreigner who doesn't speak fucking NFL is NFL's gay. I think we all
Came out as gay.
Oh, no shit. Well, that guy's definitely going to beat him in the locker room. No, dude. I mean, in the day, man, like, mental illness is real. And, you know, if you fucking, like, the way I feel about gays is very simple. If you're fucking gay, dude, go suck cock. You know, go be gay. Go be happy. Like, dude, I want to know what it's like, man, right? Like, I like pussy. Like, I have no idea what it's like. I actually feel bad for the gays. Can you imagine being a dude waking up and be like, hey, I want to fuck other dudes? I don't know what that's like. It's fucking weird, man. It's clearly mental illness, but I support it. You know, sometimes you got to just, you know, let your retarded flag fly. But
I never actually took the time to realize that, like, yeah, most gay dudes have never had sex with a woman. Never took the time to realize that. It's kind of a crazy revelation. Everyone's saying Modern Warfare 2 lobby to be exact. Yeah, exactly. Exactly what I came up on. AJD says Xbox 360. PlayStation OG.
that being said, you know, trans is too far though. If you wanna cut your dick off and fucking call yourself fucking Susie, and yeah, I don't fuck with that. You know, if you're gay, dude, whatever, dude. Go be fucking gay. Keep that shit in your house. Keep it personal. But the trans shit, no. I think we all agree trans is bad, right? Everybody here. Show of hands. Everybody raise their hands.
This might be a really bad segue, but
I mean, trans is not only really bad, but it's evil, in my opinion. That's like the epitome of evil, bro. And Dwayne Wade's son turning into a girl, I mean that was a whole nother thing in its own right, you know. Honestly, it should be illegal to change your sex until you're like 18 at the very least. That kid was a minor, okay? Drew says most gays turn gay out of loneliness and not getting puss. Tyler Betts says, agree with Sean. Not much we can do about gays. They've been around forever. Alexander the Great was bi. Trans, on the other hand, trans is the no-go. Trans is the no-go. Yeah, gays are fine. Trans is questionable. We can all unanimously agree on that. America First saying, Ariel has the machine behind him and he's got their bloodline. That's the only reason he's in the position he's in. You know, I've always been suspicious about Ariel and his position he's in. Ruby Z says Sean can have 12 losses and just say the gays, am I right? And the goofy's gonna be like based Sean, LOL. They are. The gurus are gonna be like based Sean. Not that Sean Guru is goofy necessarily, but he is one of those guys who kind of does that. Eric says, nah, you can usually tell a boy's going to be gay by the way they act even at an early age. The guys that get no puss end up becoming school shooters. Damn, Eric, that is my opinion, to be honest with you. That is my opinion. I do believe that a lot of the school shooters are just sexually frustrated males. You know, they're really sexually frustrated. I truly believe that. And they lost their mind. You know, rightfully so. I mean, shit, not getting any puss, I'd lose my mind too. I'd lose my mind too, boys. But shit, you shouldn't be shooting up schools. I mean, shoot, I shouldn't even be saying that on here, but they're born gay. Yeah, who knows? Who honestly knows? But let's get into the next Sean Strickland thing, because he did go off on Hamzat. Yeah, so he goes off on Hamzat, and then that's pretty much a wrap for his press conference.
I feel like Trump would do that. But
Here it is.
They bring his fucking terrorists. So like, I don't fucking. Come on, relax, Elon.
Hey, Sean over here. Do you think that the winner of this fight should jump Imavov for a title opportunity?
I don't fucking know, dude. I mean, here's the thing, dude. Do I think that, like, you want to see two fucking terrorist Muslims fight each other, right? Like, what? No one gives. I mean, again, more than likely, Chimaev's gonna take down Imavov and just fucking dry hump him for, fucking. Nobody gives a fuck about two foreigners fucking fighting. But the thing about Chimaev, dude, it's like, how inactive is he gonna be, right? So, like, I mean, let's just say this fight does happen. When is it supposed to happen?
Well, if you or Anthony won this, you might fight him at the White House card.
Yeah, it'd be funny bringing its fucking terrorists to the White House. But, no, yeah, I mean, it won't surprise me with this fucking administration, you know? I feel like Trump would do that. Like, I mean, but again, like, they bring Ali Abazab to the fucking, like, wasn't he on stage with Trump, right? Like, dude, weren't you, like, did you get caught with passports and became an FBI informant? Like, what the fuck are you doing with the president of the United States, dude? How the fuck did you get here, you know? But, I mean, dude, life's weird, man. Like, there's that viral clip of, like, Tiki that, like, goes and, like, you know, he knocks out the streamer, which was a sucker punch, by the way. Like, everyone's like, oh, man, it's really dope that you did that. Like, was it dope? Like, you had a cup and you sucker punched a guy in the face. What would be dope to say, all right, man, you want to fucking fight? Make the circle. Like, that's what a fucking man does, dude. Like, what a woman-beating fucking rapist, like, that's what he does. He just looks away like, oh, yeah, you serious? You serious? Boom, sucker punch. Like, what? That's kind of being a little bitch to me. If you're going to fucking fight a man, you say, you give him the option. But, yeah, life's weird, man. So when you're talking about Chimaev going to the White House, you know, he's best friends with, like, a fucking warlord dictator that murders people. So, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if this administration puts a fucking terrorist on the White House card. I guess the perfect person to fight him would be me, right? The last real fucking American in the UFC. Now we got some other guys. Zach Reese, he's a good American.
Yeah, have your own little Rocky story there.
But again, we'll look back to Chimaev, you know, it's like...
Going from Sean Strickland to Zach Reese as comparing their Americanness is like a big jump. Like, you know, there's Bryce Mitchell, there's Sean Strickland, and then it falls off a cliff. You know, I know Zach Reese American, but, you know, there's a difference in what Sean and Bryce bring to the table.
It's kind of hard, dude, because let's just say he does fight Imanov or whatever. Every fucking fight, this guy gets hurt. Mysterious injuries. I break my hand. My ovaries hurt. Like, I did this. I did that. Like, dude, you've never produced an x-ray. You've never produced an MRI. Like, but every fucking fight, dude, you got to take a year off because you're fucking injured. Like, are you that big of a bitch? So, I don't know, man. I think it'll just be curious to see his trajectory and actually how many times he fights, you know. But, like, when you're him, do you have to fight? When you're fucking sucking off Cordero and you're getting fucking gifted G-Wagons and, like, I mean, how much money do you think that guy fucking gets from the Chechnyan warlord, right? He probably gets a fuck ton. So it's like, for him, it's not necessarily about fighting. It's about having a belt for as long as possible. And I think that's why you have a guy who just fucking sits on it and gets injured. Yeah.
And then you've trained with NFL All-Pro Max Crosby. He said that after his...
Okay, that's it for that one. And we're not really going to watch the Ryan Garcia press conference. It's nothing crazy. But I do just want to maybe peep the weigh-in for you guys. Or not the weigh-in, sorry, but the face-off. You know, the face-off is a good one. You know, there's a big size difference here. A lot of people rocking with Ryan. Because, you know, Ryan, like a lot of... You know, I know a lot of people who just, like... watch the sport, they don't know what's going on, and I think that they like to hate on Ryan. You know, it kind of pisses me off low-key when, like, people who actually cover the sport hate on Ryan, because, you know, Ryan, a 14-time national champion. You know, he's not just some YouTube kid. He a 14-time amateur national champion. You know, he was the best of the best, the cream of the crop in the amateurs as a youth. You know, there was no one better than him. Who was better as in the amateurs as a youth? Ryan or Devin Haney? Ryan. You know, the jury's out for like Shakur and stuff because Shakur and Tio, they went to the Olympics, but Ryan didn't go to the Olympics. He turned pro right away. But he's the reigning national champion, you know, the 14-time national champion, never lost type shit as a youth. And everyone loves to hate on Ryan. So they're saying, you know, Ryan can get it done. And I think they're relating to his amateur background. You know, this kid never lost coming up. And if you compare Mario Barrios' amateur background, he's not a 14-time national champion. Now, I know Rolly wasn't a 14-time national champion either. But I don't got much to say about that fight. With that being said, let's check out the face-off. I also say that to say that there's a huge size difference. So Ryan's going to need to rely on his skill in there, you know, because he got no attributes going into this one. You know, I don't know what the reach is, but he definitely shorter. I'm going to assume he might have a smaller reach too. Let's take a look at this face-off, though.
Versus Garcia, it all goes down Saturday night, right here at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. 12 rounds of boxing for the welterweight championship of the world. Tickets are still available on AXS.com. And of course, it's broadcast live worldwide exclusively on DAZN. Here they are, facing each other. They'll do it one more time at the weigh-in tomorrow. But this was a final press conference. They got their final word in. Once again, challenger from Victorville, California, 24 victories, 20 wins by knockout. The former WBC silver and interim lightweight world champion, Ryan King Ride Garcia. And from San Antonio, Texas, with a record of 29 victories, 18 wins by KO, the reigning and defending Ring Magazine WBC welterweight champion of the world, Mario El Azteca Barrios.
Ryan looks in incredible shape, doesn't he? I mean, you're the ex-boxer here, Sergio. What does he weigh right now? Because I look at him and I feel like he looks like he's on weight already.
Ryan Garcia has always been a really big welterweight. He has wide shoulders. He's very tall for the weight, but you see the size difference in Mario Barrios. Barrios is going to be the much bigger fighter come rehydration and come fight night. I'm impressed the way Ryan Garcia looks. He looks chiseled. It's the right type of muscle. This is going to be a fantastic fight.
Yeah, Mike, Ryan wants us to know he's in shape as well. I mean, he's taken the top off there. Like, look, guys, I'm in the best shape I can. Barrios is hiding it. Barrios is always in shape. This is a really intriguing fight. It's almost one where it is difficult to kind of put your money on someone and pick a winner.
Yeah, I mean, both guys.
There's the face-off. There's the face-off. Barcelos is fake Mexican. I just wanted to say that. Damn. Juice says that boy getting a title shot off a loss says it all. Yep. Yeah. But I mean, by now we should know, you know, there are guys who can get opportunity. There, you know, basically you can become bigger than a belt, you know, and that's why Ryan's getting a title shot, because he bigger than a belt. You know, he bigger than a belt. So it's like, you know, title shot, no title shot, he bigger than a belt anyway. You know, throw him up in there, you know. But, you know, I will say this is do or die. That's what Ryan's saying too. This is do or die. You know, a must win for him. So, you know, he coming off his second loss now. Coming off his second loss. He lost to Tank. Last fight he lost to Rolly. You lose to Mario Barrios, you know, you fall off a cliff. All the Oregon. Unbroken says, Perry, are there any Asian twinks on the card? Bet a few dollars for me. Can we split the bling bling? Oh, what a good fucking chat that was. I don't know. Since you asked so nicely, Unbroken, I can check if there's any Asian twinks on here. And by that, you know, he means blonde Asians. No, there's not. No twinks. We can't split the bling bling. Unbroken. Tyler Betts says Duarte was funny as fuck when he said "shut the fuck up, bitch." That was funny. That was funny. Richard Hitcherson was like genuinely asking for a bet. You know, he caught him at the best moment too. The way Richard Hitchinson or Richardson Hitchens? I don't know what the fuck it is, but Richard, the way he was talking, Duarte caught him at the perfect, like the literal picture perfect moment. Like Hitcherson was literally almost fanboying out with Oscar trying to bet with him. And then homie just told him, shut the fuck up, bitch. Deshaun Raid your closet, same shirt. Sean be rocking the less fitted ones from Walmart. Ruby Z says, Sean has a problem with Tiki, Bad Bunny, Buckley, and Kadyrov, but is cool with Trump, LOL. Honestly, Ruby Z, I'd be surprised if he's cool with Trump anymore. Most of Trump's supporters have turned on him. Unless you're my mom's age, then you still support him. But if you're not my mom's age, you don't really support him anymore. Even if you did. Neither guy speaks Spanish, by the way. Damn, that's fucked. Barrios speaks a native language, though. Yeah, he's Aztec, right? Aztec versus Mexico. English, they both born here. Money talks. Money talks rent free. Damn, we can make some money next time. Make some money on Van versus the other twink. Yeah, that would work. That would work. Now we're talking, buyer seller. Okay, I have one other piece of content for the day for you guys. I might have saved the best for last. I may have just saved the best for last, okay?
Hey, what's going on?
Who knows how this one's gonna go? This, you know, we one take Vato, we always off the cuff. So one take Vato at it again. Your color temperature is getting better. Yeah, it's because of the lighting. I think it was because there were yellow lights mixed with my white lights outside over there, so it was giving it like a blue look for some reason on camera. So I think that's what it wasn't broken. I think the camera was fine. It was more so what I just said. Now, everyone's been asking me for an update on Nick Diaz, so here's the update that we got, all right? Nick Diaz doing a promo video at a freaking taco shop in Vegas, Santiago's Tacos. Here he is. I mean, what you guys think of Nick? What you guys think? How's Nick looking? Like, can you guys just do my job for the one time and share your opinions on Nick? You know, for the one time. I'd be giving you guys all my opinions. Juice says Nick did not want to do this ad. Oh, he definitely didn't. I take it you saw the ad, Jew. I take it this popped up on your Explore page too.
What's going on? Nick Diaz here. We're hanging out at Santiago's Taco Shop.
There's Martin Sano again. Why is Nick on the corner? Why is Martin Sano sitting in the prime real estate? You know, Nick pulled up a chair. Martin Sano pull up a damn chair, homie.
Hey, what's going on? Nick Diaz here. We're hanging out at Santiago's Taco Shop.
So this is my official call out. All right, I'm tired of seeing these guys together. Martin Sano, let's run it. Officially, let's run it. Officially, Martin Sano, this is the official call out. I want the fade. I want a boxing match. I want an MMA match. I want something. I'm giving you an opportunity to make some money, homie, so you can get off Nick's ass, so you can leave him and his wife alone. Let's run it. No more cucking in the corner. We run it. Official call out. Me versus Martin Sano. Bodybuilder versus failed UFC fighter. This is the official call out. Martin Sano, I want the smoke. I will run the smoke with Martin Sano. I will run the smoke with Martin Sano. Official call out. I need to get you out of Nick Diaz's hair. If there's one person who can do it, it's me. Let's get you a bag, homie. No more cucking in the corner. No more stealing the prime real estate seat next to Nick's wife at Los Pollos Hermanos. I've had enough. I've had enough. I saw this video. The first thing that popped in my mind is I need the fade. I need the fade with Martin Sano. He's been riding on Nick's coattails for too long. I'll give you an opportunity to make money, homie. This is an official call out. This is an official call out. I'm probably going to clip this off. I'm officially calling out the Martin the Spartan Sano to a fade. Now, we need to get money. I'm not just going to fight you in the streets, homie. But also, this pick right here, it's too much. You too close to Nate here. Nate, don't fuck with you. We need the fade. We need the fade. For Nate, for Nick, for everybody, we need the fade. There's a reason why Vargas Sr. is in between him and Martin Sano, Nate and Martin Sano. There's a reason. Nate ain't getting close to Martin. He would pop him if he had to. The official call out, Martin Sano, we can run it any day, anytime. I prefer brand risk. Let's run a boxing match. On brand risk, you versus me. Avenge Kayla and Nick, right, against me. I did them dirty in probably their eyes, so you avenge them. And I'm going to avenge Nate and the boys back home. That's what I'm going to do. The official call out, me versus Martin the Spartan Sano. I want to run it. I want to run it with Martin the Spartan. MVP, you know, whatever the other one is that I named, brand risk, misfits. You know, someone help me get this fight. Like, I couldn't be more down. I could not be more down. AD was popping, AD. Buyer seller says I'm laughing. Buyer seller said he was gonna stay and not go to bed for this. So that better have been worth it. Buyer seller. You stayed up, you saw the call out. And that's how we pretty much gonna end the stream. Street beefs. I mean, if Street Beefs will pay me, actually, I will do it for free. I will do it for free. I just want a little bit of clout off of it. Okay, but the whole gimmick is to give Martin the Spartan Sano some money so he can stop freeloading off of Nick. You know, that's my whole gimmick. But I mean, I will run it for free. If we do Street Beefs, I'll run it. 80 says, damn, one day I haven't watched the stream and Jacob ready to fight Nick Diaz friend. Shit crazy these days. I'm ready. Street Beefs, I'll do it for free. Although Martin the Spartan Sano won't do it for free probably. And he's not going to get out of Nick's hair, which is not going to, you know, complete my mission. But I'll do it for free on Street Beefs. Me versus Martin Sano on Street Beefs, Misfits, MVP, brand risk, you name it. You name it. Me and Martin the Spartan Sano, we run it. I mean, the call out's going on a few minutes now. I've said it all I need to say, and then I've resaid it like 3 times. So, I mean, I think there's nothing more for me to say. I will be clipping this off, and this is the official call out. I'm ready to fight Martin the Spartan Sano. Bodybuilder versus failed UFC fighter. Let's run it. Let's run it. And let's get a bag. You know, last resort Street Beefs, but we will do Street Beefs. Just last resort because it's less financially, you know, less financial incentive. Buyer seller says, bro, that was worth it. Well, I'm glad it was worth it. So with all that being said, if you liked the stream, if you enjoyed the call out, do me the solid. On the way out, hit the like button. All right, run up the likes. You know, I would prefer, you know, the new goal, the new minimum for every single stream is 25 likes. So I see 45 people in here right now, just sitting back, enjoying the call out, right? 45 people in here right now, just sitting back, basking in the call out. We just hit 25. So boom, shout out. We got 50 in here, sitting back, basking in the call out. Should I do it for you boys? But I'm ready for that scrap. I'm ready for that scrap. Me versus Martin the Spartan Sano Jr. All right, I'm ready for it. So once again, everybody on the way out though, run up the likes. Shit, run that shit up to 30. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. There's no other news that like has happened since I've been live or what. We don't give a fuck about really Gable, but I mean, yeah, let's watch this real quick. Let's see Gable's finish. We care about Gable, but like the glazing is crazy. Like, you know, call me when you're like 10-0 and you knocked out like 10 dudes. Then we'll come watch. But anyway, let's take a look at this one.
Expected him to actually use his kicks,
Oh!
use his screens. He
There's
lands the
that-
spinning wheel kick.
There's that Kyokushin karate he was talking about. Big waving punches by Ugo. But Ugo is taking a lot of damage by Gable. Gable's
that
landing
uppercut was
big
nasty.
shots. Gable's going to take him down here. Gable landing some big shots. I don't know. It's not looking good for Ugo at the moment, but Gable is staying composed, patient. He is not rushing this to finish this fight. He is staying composed, and Ugo is just holding on for dear life in these positions.
He's surviving. The referee's very close to the action. Gable is raining the
That's
heavy
it.
ground and pound, and that's it. Another first round victory for Gable Stevenson, the Olympic.
It's a cool win. It's just like, you know, it just doesn't scream sign me to the UFC. You know, it's a very cool win, but it just doesn't scream sign me to the UFC. Because the same type of wins happen in the UFC all the time. You know, these opponents who can't really hang, and until you get really tested in there, until you fight actual tough competition, there's no real way to gauge you. You know, these are like micro points. These are almost what I would call like micro XP. You know, like you're not really getting like +5 XP boosts off these fights. They're these +1 XP, +2.5 XP. Like, you know, only a little bit of XP. But hold on, I like get so excited when I see someone come in here start hating. I just like want to respond. But I'll get to you, Livingston. Don't you worry, buddy. Just sit tight over there. Just sit your little ass tight, and I'll get back to you. But that's what I'll say is like, yeah, cool win for Gable. Don't want to be, you know, hating, but I need to keep it realistic. He moves to 3-0. These types of wins are minor XP. You know, once you start, it's like, you guys ever play like RuneScape or some shit like that? Like you start off cutting the small trees, right? The like little trees that are easy to cut with the axe. As you get these upgrades and get XP, you start getting more XP. You can cut down the willow trees and the yew trees and all this stuff. You got to play RuneScape to know what I'm talking about. All right. But then you can wield, you know, the gold axe and the silver axe and the rune axe. Okay. But before you only have the bronze axe. So, and with the bronze axe, it takes a lot longer to level up to like level 15. And then once you reach level 15, you can start getting these big jumps. That's because you can wield the silver axe. You feel me? Now you can start chopping down willow trees. Okay. Then you get the XP boost. The next upgrade, you get more XP for chopping down the more expensive trees. You guys should know what I'm talking about a little bit. But that's what Gable's doing right now. He's 3-0. He's still wielding the bronze axe, boys. He's still wielding the bronze axe. Okay, and that's my analogy. Minor XP. Once he starts facing higher level competition, we can award him bigger XP. But not all first round finishes are the same. Not all first round finishes are equal. Livingston, 50 people on here, but you really got your views on that video talking about Buckley versus Morales. Let's be real, he won't even sniff a fight against Morales. Anything for a clip and LMFAO. I mean, yep. And I'm happy about the 50 people in here, Livingston. I'm very happy about the 50 people in here. I think that's a solid amount of people to have on stream on a Thursday night. You know, we also made the headline today, Livingston. So not only do we have 54 people in here, right? But we also have 54 people tuning in to a headline we created today on this platform. Buddy. All right, buddy. So, I mean, yeah, I'm actually absolutely loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. Anything for the clip, I mean, pretty much. I mean, I'm pretty dedicated to the viewers, to the audience, to the supporters. You know, I'm pretty dedicated. I've told them once before, you know, my duty and my loyalty is to them. You know, so I don't know who you think my loyalty is supposed to belong to, but, you know, it belongs to the viewers. It belongs to the supporters. And you saying anything for a clip, I mean, yeah, definitely. We're definitely cooking up the best stuff possible. Hey, guys, you know what I always tell you, right? I always tell you, and I'm only going to do this one time, okay? So if you're in here for the one time, this is probably never going to happen again, but I'm going to be super specific. So some people, you know, you'll be able to learn this trick of the trade from me. And, you know, Livingston will probably never do this again, knowing how I view it. But this is a perfect example. People outside, fire, fire, Livingston. He's yelling, fire outside, fire outside. But guess what? I want Livingston outside my house. You know, same with everyone outside. Same with all 54 people outside my house right now. You feel me? And this is just one of them. So if I put out this fire, let me break it down for you. I put out this fire. Livingston hating on me, asking Buckley about the Morales gay clip. He butthurt about it. He don't like the Buckley calling Morales gay clip. It hurt his feelings. All right. He trying to troll me. He's saying anything for the clip, insinuating, you know, I should increase my standards and appease him. Guess what? The second I appease this hating ass Livingston, he not going to be here no more. The only reason why he's here is because I'm doing my thing, you know, and I'm going to keep doing my thing, Mr. Livingston. So for all you people out there, when someone tells you, you know, don't do something and you might want to listen to them, you know, I would second guess that. I would definitely second guess that, because the second you appease them, they're gone. But we got Livingston in this bitch. Keep crotch sniffing my brother. I mean, okay. Oh yeah, and I got Unbroken on. I'm gonna keep getting to you, Livingston. I'm gonna keep getting to you. Don't you worry, buddy. But Unbroken, or somebody asked me, what's the best ab workout? The best ab workout, I would say, the big three. Should I go over the big three ab workouts for you boys? The big three ab workouts are going to be, in my humble opinion, all right, I go no weight on the ab workouts, and I would highly recommend no weight. You know, you don't want to put on too much mass. You just want to lean it out, right, and burn fat. A thinner waist is better. Okay, that's why we're going to go no weight. The big three are going to be straight leg raises. You could do that from hanging from a pull-up bar, or they have the machine type of thing at the gym where you like lock in your elbows and your feet are hanging, and then you do the straight leg raises. That's going to do the lower abs, right? Then you can also run decline sit-ups. So you know that, you know, the decline bench, you run sit-ups on it. And then the third option, part of the big three, is crunches. Crunches on the floor. Crunches on the floor. That's what I would recommend. If you want to get on your Floyd Mayweather shit, you could basically, what Floyd used to do is Floyd used to do sit-ups from the floor. He would sit up, he would stand up. Someone would be holding his feet. Floyd would sit up, stand up, throw 2 punches, sit back down, go back up, stand back up, throw 2 punches, sit back down, go back down, come back up, throw 2 punches, sit back down, go back down, sit back up, stand back up, throw 2 punches. You feel me? So that's on your Floyd Mayweather shit. So I'll even give you a fourth one. I'll give you a fourth one. And shit, how the abs looking? You know, I don't like to do this too much. I don't like to boast too much, but let's see. We got Livingston in the chat. How the abs looking? How the abs looking? Shit, you want the big four? You want the big four? Martin the Spartan Sano. I want you, Martin the Spartan Sano. I want you, homie. I want you. I'm in better shape now than the last time I popped the top. I'm in better shape now than the last time I popped the top. Fight Society, he fucked. He absolutely fucked, and I moved on from his ass. But tell Fight Society, pop the top one time for us. We just want to see. I'm trying to see something. All right? Guru needs to take the top off. Shit. The proof in the pudding, boys. The proof in the pudding. So Unbroken, run the big four, run the big three. Go over the big three. Hey, I got you guys. I gave you guys the big three. Thinking Again says not pull-ups. Livingston says, where did the abs come into play? Sounds like a cope. I guess I'm coping. Wait, let's isolate Livingston and read some of his chats. Yeah, Juice says, how many viewers you get, Livingston? I mean, probably like sub 10. Probably sub 5, Jew. Livingston don't know that how much hard work it takes to get, you know, a concurrent 50 viewers on a Thursday evening. You know, Livingston don't know how much work I put in for that. You know, what the hell is going on, Livingston? You said that's great, but I saw your topic on that video, but what does that have to do with what I said? I don't even know what you're saying. That video came within a week. Like what? Again, your comments aren't making any sense. Brother, you can rant all you want, but you didn't answer me. It's embarrassing. I'll join. I'm just asking you to answer me. What's going on? Do you think he'll get a shot against Morales? Oh. Not right now. Not right now, but I mean, he would definitely be in the conversation after a win in his next fight or something along those lines, Livingston. Michael Morales is going up, though. Joaquin is kind of staying around where he is. So, Morales coming off a win over Mr. Number 1 ranked contender, Sean Brady. They could fight, but it's not really close right now. Livingston. They could fight, but it's not really close to happening right now. Castro has that Captain America tat. Nah, that's Guam. This is the Guam flag. This is where my dad's from. It's in the U.S., but it's a U.S. territory. This is the Guamanian flag. Shout out to Guam. It's next to the Philippines, next to Australia. Actually, you know, Alex Volkanovski used to fight in Guam early in his career. Early in Volk's career, he made his career in Guam. It's close to Australia. Guam had a lot of fights going on. You guys know Trevin Jones. You know, John Cruz Tuck, the first ever UFC fighter from Guam. Guam, a small little island. This is so hilarious. The insecurity is crazy. Pops abs from a random in chat. Yikes. Shit, call me insecure. Why didn't you answer my question? I asked when Buckley would fight Morales. This is so funny. He's not going to fight Morales, bro. Like, what are you getting twisted? Pop the top, Livingston, go on. Livingston definitely doesn't want to pop the top. Tyler Betts says, shit, I will wait in at 186 today. Let's go, Tyler Betts. Good shit. Good shit. I think I weighed in 193 this morning. So me and Tyler Betts, we sizey. Me and Tyler Betts, we sizey. Livingston, shut the fuck up. Shout out to Guam. Yeah, shout out to Guam. I made rice pudding today. It sucked. You know what I did today? I put rice in my oatmeal because I saw someone do that. They told me you can make cream of rice by like blending it. So I blended the rice up. It wasn't like a powder form. It was like, you know, just a bunch of broken rice. I put it in with the oatmeal. The rice was still crunchy. That's just a super random fact, but I mean, shit. We're about to end the stream anyway. I got a colored tat in the same spot, bro. Kind of painful, but not bad as you think on the ribs. Yeah, Tyler Betts, it was kind of painful, but like you said, not as bad as you think. But you know what's funny about that is because like I was laying on my side, bro, that armpit, like when I was laying like this or whatever, the shoulder that was facing the ceiling, bro, that armpit was dripping like a faucet because I was so uncomfortable with the tat, like the buzzing and like the needle and shit. But it doesn't hurt that bad. But I do remember, like, when I got up, bro, there was literally water underneath me, like a puddle of water. It's crazy shit from my fucking armpit of all places. All right, I'm oversharing. So we're going to get out of here in a minute. But, yeah, Juice says, Livingston, shut the fuck up. And then Ruby Z says, so Castro is Polynesian. Yeah. Like, well, I'm like a lot of things. I'm like, I'll tell you. Ruby Z, come on now. You should know this. Hawaiian, Chinese, Portuguese, German, Guamanian. So I'm Polynesian. I'm also white. I'm also Asian. Unbroken says Guam had to parachute mice to deal with their snake problem. Yeah, I've never been to Guam. Isn't that Micronesian or nah? Let's see. Maybe it is Micronesian. Wait, my bad. Is Guam Micronesia? Yes, Guam is geographically and culturally part of Micronesia. Well, there you go. What's Hawaiian? Is Hawaiian Polynesian or what? Or no? Yes, Hawaii is part of Polynesia. Okay, so I'm literally I just learned I'm something new, you know, or another term. I'm Polynesian and Micronesian. They just say you're a mutt in Hawaii. They just say you're a mutt. You know, you're everything. You're a mutt. You're like a dog that's 5 things. This dude over here hating like he doing something. Typical. Guam has more snakes than citizens. That's disgusting. Unbroken says oatmeal not healthy though. Why? Because the glyphosate in it? I'd be eating organic oatmeal, no pesticide. I had a fine ass girl doing my ribs and stomach, and she had my hand positioned in her crotch. LO. I was like, shit, what do I do? Shit, I would have started fucking finger in it. Call me crazy, Tyler Betts, but I would have fucking tried. I would have tried slipping a finger. I would have tried something. I would have tried I would have definitely tried getting her a little horned up. Without a doubt. Come on, bro. Shout out to the tattoo artist for that. It's like, shit, this could take as long as it needs. I'm locked in. Who's Bobby Green fighting? He's in camp right now. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Damn, I was going to go to the gym. It's like 11:30. I'm kind of crazy, though. I'll still go. Because it's like gluten. Oh. What's bad about gluten? Unbroken. Is there like a bad health effect with gluten I'm not aware of? I feel like if you're watching your calories and you're not going over it, I mean, you can have all the gluten you want, no? Not all the gluten you want, but like, you feel me, right? Oh, Daniel Zellhuber. Well, there it is. Jew, homie fighting Daniel Zellhuber. He fighting Daniel Zellhuber next week, homie. What the fuck? It actually did get announced, I think, but I just missed it or something. Yeah, UFC Mexico. Bro, Cheeto versus David Martinez. David Martinez coming off that win over Rob Font. I'm rocking with David Martinez. But Bobby Green fighting next week. They still trying to push Zellhuber. Yeah, I would cut that out. I'd stop doing that. The guy Imanol, DC's guy. This guy's pretty good. Imanol. Check him out. Undefeated Mexican fighter. I low-key did it. I think she got fired not long after, LOL. Damn, they peeped the cameras. Ruby Z says Castro is 3-1. Don't fuck with Castro. Shit, Ruby Z said it. Livingston says, did you learn you are sensitive? I could be both. I could be both, Livingston. I can be pretty stoic, but I can also be maybe a bit, I don't know if sensitive is the word. I can be quite reactive. Huge L to start off 2026 by Livingston. I mean, Livingston, it's in the first letter of his name. He a walking L. Unbroken says it's fascinating the whole parachute dead mice with aspirin in them to kill the snakes. Wild documentary. It only affected the snakes and not all the amazing birds in Guam. Unbroken, I think you sent me that doc a while back on YouTube. Now I'm going to look at it. I didn't realize that's what it was. I didn't realize they put aspirin in dead mice to kill snakes. That's super interesting. All right, boys, I'm going to head out of here. Thanks, everyone, for watching, though. I see we got a good little concurrent viewing towards the end of the stream. So shout out to everybody watching, even Livingston. If you are not subscribed to the channel, subscribe. I already kind of did this, so I'm just going to do it real quick. If you didn't like the video, run up the likes. We already reached the goal, so thank you very much to everybody for that. Let me shout everybody out. Also, shout out to Andrew Nance for gifting some memberships today. Much appreciated, homie. Wanted to acknowledge that once again. Peace out, Ruby Z. Peace out, Unbroken. Peace out, Jew. Member Jew. All right, get your memberships. We got the Adrien Lee interview dropping on members only first. Then I'll be releasing it on the main feed, but members eat first. Okay, so you guys will be getting an Adrien Lee interview dropping very soon. We filmed it today, so give me a couple of days to get it up and edited. Shout out to member Tyler Betts. Shout out to Juice Man. Shout out to Unbroken. Shout out to Space Kid. Shout out to Livingston. You motherfucker, you. Shout out to Ruby Z if I haven't already said it. Shout out to Tyler Betts, Tony Sal, Buyer Seller, AD Kid, Thinking Again. Shout out to member Thinking Again. I'm going to just shout out Unbroken again because I keep seeing his name. Shout out to Rent Free. Make sure you subscribe, homie, if you're not subscribed. Shout out to Eric, my man Eric, for always watching. Much appreciated, brother. America First. Tuxedo Mask for the donos as well. Shout out Tux. Shout out to AJD. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Lewis. And that's all I can see. So shout out to everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And then I'll see you guys on Saturday for the fights. Saturday, we're doing a doubleheader. We're doing Ryan Garcia versus Barrios. We're doing UFC Houston, Strickland versus Fluffy. So tune in. Doubleheader live stream, Fight Companions on Saturday. I'll be here tomorrow too. Peace out, everybody. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.